Welcome to the National Stadium. It's semi-final day in the NLA GPL T20. We have two big matches in the semi-finals today. First up, the East Coast Derby between powerhouses in Grenada's cricket, St. David versus St. Andrew. Currently, St. David's versus St. Andrew before us, wonderful conditions here at the National Stadium. It sets the stage for what can be an exciting matchup in this semi-final one.
Yeah, most definitely. As I say, good morning to wherever you are this morning. They are picking us up. Great condition. We couldn't ask for better condition for this first semi-final game between St. David's and St. Andrews.
Yeah, most certainly. And the players, they're pumped up. The management team, they're pumped up. The conditions are quite wonderful here. Clear overhead conditions. The pitch, it looks like a good wicket for cricket. The outfield, probably the best it has looked for the entire tournament. So the stage is set as we get set for the first of the two major encounters today. We're going to take the toss as we've done it earlier on, and then we're going to come back to give you the lineups for today's matches. Welcome to the toss for semi-final one of the NLA GPL T20. It is the East Coast Derby, St. David's versus St. Andrew. We have here at the toss, the captains for today's match, Keon George, St. David's, Anil Matthew, St. Andrew, and the match referee, first Vice President of the GC, Andy Noel. He will hand the coin over to Keon George, the home captains for today's match, who will toss, and the call will be done by Anil Matthew. The call is a head, and it is a head. Anil, you have won the toss. What's the decision of St. Andrew?
Yeah, we're going to have a ball first.
Big semi-finals, not much to say about it. St. David's versus St. Andrews. Guys, pump up for this encounter?
Yeah, we are very pumped for it, knowing that we beat them already. So we just come out here and remain focused, not letting the pressure get to us, and we're going to play basic cricket.
You're bowling first. Sort of total you have in mind to restrict St. David's?
Yeah, we're looking to restrict them between 100 and 110.
All right, and finally, any changes to the squad from the semi-finals?
Yeah, we have two changes. Kevin Lewis out for Kavim Hodge, and Jamie Buddy out, Shaman Lewis back in the side. All
right, Anil, all the best for you guys today's match.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to have a word with Keon George. Keon, being asked to bat first, is that what you had in mind or different things?
Well, we wanted to bowl first today, but we were sent to bat, so we have to just go steady and put our head down and try to get at least 170 today.
Last game, the batting seemed to have come together a bit. 142 against St. George's, looking for another repeat performance.
Yeah, of course. I say once guys come outside here with the senior players we got, we're supposed to be able to be getting over 150.
All right, and finally, any changes in the squad from the last match to today?
No, we're going with the same squad today from last week.
All right, well, Keon, all the best to you and St. David's in this match.
Thank you very much.
Just to recap the toss, St. Andrew have won the toss and they've decided to bowl. So that was the toss. Currently, St. Andrews winning the toss, bowling first. What your thoughts on that decision?
I think it's a good decision. We are playing on a different strip today, the one further to the west, and certainly just have a slight tinge of grass on the surface, and it does look as though it will give some assistance to the faster bowlers early on this morning.
Yeah, as a fresh wicket, we wait to see, what would materialize. If we take our jog our memory back to the first weekend, similar conditions in terms of pitch-wise, as we would have seen a tinge of grass throughout, and it was a good wicket for cricket throughout. The batsmen, they were able to enjoy themselves. The bowlers, they got a lot of assistance out of it. So we're hoping that it's probably similar to that wicket from the first weekend.
Yeah,
so
it certainly looks a pretty good wicket, despite playing on a new strip. But we are fortunate we have two strips being prepared and using this one for the first time. And I think that the bowlers will relish wanting to bowl on the wicket this morning.
Yeah, as we're going to take the opportunity now to go through the teams for today's match. First up, we have St. David's. They are the first place team that finished in the round robin tournament, so they are 1 playing 4 in the semi-final. St. David's 11 today consists of Keon George captain, Andre Fletcher, Kimo Peters, Roland Cato, Ryan John, Shondell Regis, Samuel Charles, Gerard Noel, Imran Joseph, Haston Jackson, and Neilon Pascal. Currently, when you look at that lineup, it's unchanged lineup from the semi-finals, and it's a well-balanced squad. Quite a few experienced players came back into the the last match to bolster the team. So St. David's certainly a strong 11 here today.
Yes, a good squad. I think when you look at the first game that St Andrews played against St David's, with all these three top players, John Fletcher and you had Kato. I think it made a difference when they came in the last game, winning convincingly the game that they would have played. So obviously, I think it has boost St David's in terms of the strength. And one would hope that we will see these players performing today.
Yeah, so we're now going to take a look at the St Andrews 11, what they have for this match.
Aki Mogis, Teddy Bishop, Amikel Dubisset, Sherman Lewis, Anil Matthew, captain, Daniel McDonald, Donald McDonald, Deron Ned, Richard Rogers, Daniel George, and Kavem Hodge.
Yeah, another team, quite a few young, exciting players. They've even further strengthened the inclusion of the Windward's Volcanoes player, Kavim Hodge, as certainly a good addition to the St Andrew 11.
Yes, and they will feel confident having won the first encounter against St. David's. Now they are strengthened with the inclusion of Kavim Hodge. We still have Sherman Lewis is there. So they would feel confident going out to play against St. David's today. One has to remember that the last game St. Andrews played, I think, was the best we have seen them in terms of the bowling. They really went out with a plan and they played very well. So they would go out with some confidence, having won the first encounter.
Yes, it's certainly a very good unit. As we said, Sherman Lewis is back in. He didn't play the previous match, so he'll be looking to contribute to his team. As Dana George, who would have played his first match coming in the tournament at the last round, he had a good encounter leading up to this match, so he'll be looking to replicate that performance for his team. I think he was actually the player of the match in that game, but it seems to be opening the bowling. Another player who would have played his first match in the previous match, Amikel Dubisset, certainly bowled a good line and length, kept attacking the stumps, and he did well for his team in the previous match, so he would be looking again to replicate that performance.
Well, that would be very important. We saw in the last game it was not a matter of pace. They were able to put the ball on the spot, take a bit of pace off of it, so it made it difficult for the batsman. And one would think that St. Andrews is going to use probably the same strategy in terms of not looking for express pace, but line, length, and taking a bit of pace off, variation. And they would be hoping to make all the inroads into the St. David's batting.
Yeah, as we see the players, they're all out in the middle. The umpires, they're out there in the middle. The umpires of today's match, standing umpire from the southern end, Rupert Holas, and from the northern end, we're going to have John Mack. And the St. David's opening batsmen, they're out. It's a new pair for this match. We have Kimo Peters and Samuel Charles. Samuel Charles, who has struggled in that position at the top of the order in previous matches, certainly given another opportunity to open the batting for St. David's.
Yeah, very disappointing. He haven't had a good tournament. Neither was even at the Super 50, and he would be hoping to really turn things around this morning. There would be a need for him to put his head down, probably give St. David's a good start and build a sort of foundation.
Yeah, with these two opening the batting, certainly it's going to be a strong middle to low order, as we see Amikel Dubisset first delivery, nice shape there from Dubisset, a bit full and wide, sailed away from the batsman after pitching, and Samuel Charles went after it. So Crony certainly see some early signs of movement there with the new white ball.
Yeah, good delivery, first up by Dubisset, and Charles was looking to drive it, really moved away from him, and was taken by the keeper.
Yeah, we are talking about the batting order. So you'll see the likes of Keon George, Andrew Fletcher, Ryan John, and Roland Cato, certainly a formidable middle order to come down for St. David's, as we see this one shorter in length and even further outside the off stump and signal wide by umpire. So the score is currently 1 without loss by the way of extra, and Dubisset, as he done in the previous match, would be looking to probably pitch the ball just maybe on about off stump and move it away from the right hander.
Yeah, wide out off stump, and I think what is important is that though they would be encouraged by the wicket, but the length and the line the ball could be very important.
As you see that one a bit closer to the batsman, Charles looking to get off strike. As we said, he has struggled so far with the bat. In the tournament, he has contributed just 23 runs from 4 innings with a top score of 8 not out, and will be certainly looking to better those statistics here in this semi-final one.
Yeah, Charles will be really hoping to get off to a good start. He really had a disappointing series with the bat.
And that one is short and wide and punched down to the fielder who's on the cover point. Boundary comes around, does the fielding. That is Donald McDonald, one of the 2 McDonalds in the St Andrews 11. His older brother Daniel McDonald is in the cover position, and 2 important players in the lineup for St Andrews who will be looking for good performances from the McDonald brothers.
Yeah, and Kimo Peters, who comes in the strike, I thought had a better series. I think that with the exception of the last game, which he failed, he has played very well, and certainly he will want to really put his head down to really try and give St. David's a good start.
As that do be said, certainly seems to have found a good line length there, just outside the off stump, coming in back into the right hander slightly. Peters can do more than just defend it onto the offside. So that will be the sort of line and length Dubiset will be looking to hit early up here in this encounter.
Yeah, they would really depend on line and length. And as I said before, you're not going to get the ball really coming off as quickly with the start of play. But as the sun beat down on the wicket, the tendency is that the wicket going to quicken up later in the day.
Oh, short delivery. Kimo Peters probably missed an opportunity there. It was short. It sat up invitingly outside the off stump, and he was not able to get back onto it.
Yeah, he would have missed out there on that short delivery. Yes, there's a cover fielder on the boundary, but he probably would have been happy to hit that somewhere down to backward point.
Yeah, that in the backward point fielder in that position there is Kavim Hodge. Just returned from Antigua. I recently returned from Antigua, where we had some spells with the West Indies. In the best out. There was Kimo Peters playing it to the fielder we are talking about, Kavim Hodge. He went exploring down the wicket, and Kavim Hodge, he was able to spring from backward point and shad the stumps, and it would have wait to be seen whether he would have made it home. But he saved the ball miss, and at the end of the first over, St. David there 2 without loss.
Yeah, not much happening in that over. Dubiset was on the shorter side, and the batsman having to play on the back foot. I think what is interesting is the line was consistently outside the off stump, maybe sometimes a bit wide, at just short of a length. Nothing much happening in that over. As we see there, Peters wonders what was happening as he pushed the ball out on the offside.
Yeah, well, he's yet to score, and I think all batsmen they always relish the opportunity to get that first run on the in the batting column. And he went exploring them. For him, the fielder missed. As we see, it's going to be Hodge who will be taking up the action from the northern end of the ground. Hodge, all-rounder, it can be classified as an all-rounder. He bowls a very decent slow left arm and very capable top-order batsman.
Yeah, and he tend to push the ball up in to the batsman a bit. I think the line and length he probably would be very tight. Batsman just had to be careful. The start only the second over. There's no need to rush, but just to make sure you're playing on merit and maybe push around for the ones and the twos. But no extravagant shot is required at this time.
Yeah, Hodge, 2 good deliveries there. Just done about the off stump to Samuel Charles, who is can get any of those 2 away. And Charles goes through, hits over the top. The fielder there, Dana Jott, runs wrong. He's able to get a hand to it, but can't stop it from going into the boundary. It was a good shot from Samuel Charles. The ball was thrown up a bit. Probably wouldn't have timed it as well as you'd have liked. That resulted in going sailing a bit into the sky. But at the end of the day, a safe shot, 4 runs to Samuel Charles and 4 more to St. David's.
Well, it's a bold shot by Charles, and you could see the ball not coming on. It gave it a lot of air, but I think the good thing he did is that he hit it straight. So the fielder had long on, had to run, didn't have time, and they was able to he was able to get it to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, and this time Charles turns it onto the onside. Teddy Bishop in the square leg position comes in to do the fielding, but can restrict the batsman from 1. But Samuel Charles will be certainly feeling better early on in this inning. Get hit a boundary and is able to get off strike the next ball to keep the strike turning over. As we see ball played towards the fielder Bishop in the square leg position. So we have 2 fielders in that area, one behind square and one in front of square, as Hodge looking to attack the stumps. A slower ball there, Crony, from Hodge to complete his first over, and after 2, St. David 7 without loss.
Yes, and you see Hodge in this over really giving the ball quite a bit of air. Charles was able to hit him straight back over his head for 4. Not confidently, but I think because he played straight, he was able to get it to the boundary for 4. And this last delivery, Peters, they having to come forward and to wait on it and just push it out to the slip. So he's going to use a lot of variation, and the batsman just had to be very careful. Probably could have been on his back foot to that one. But again, the air caused the batsman to think in terms of whether to go forward or to go back.
A short ball from Dubiset. Charles comes into the line and hits that one over the square leg position. So another boundary to Samuel Charles. This one off the middle of the bat. He moves to 10, and St. David, they 11 without loss it over number 3.
Yeah, good positive shot. I think he will feel good with that shot. It was a short delivery, and he went back and hit it really, really cleanly over mid wicket, and it went down to the boundary for 4. This should give his confidence a lot of good.
Yeah, Samuel Charles with that currently on 10. Coincidentally, it's his highest score for the tournament, so it's certainly a better effort so far from Samuel Charles, and he will be certainly feeling good after that ball where he was able to get it off the middle of the bat. Thick outside edge, flies over the fielder, over the slip cordon, into the boundary for 4. So back-to-back boundaries for Samuel Charles as St. David's, they advance to 15 without loss in over number 3.
Yes, and I guess the confidence there, he flashing at a ball that really, I don't think he was really close to it there as we look at it here. And it was not the best of shot. It was a shortish delivery, and he was looking to drive maybe somewhere over cover. And he would be advised, you know, just to be careful. He already has 8 runs in the over. There's no need to be trying to manufacture a shot this morning.
And that one hit down the ground back past the bowler, and it's going to be 3 consecutive 4s in the over for Samuel Charles, and he has come into this match lacking runs, but so far he's enjoying proceedings. He's on 18. St. David's 19 without loss in over number 3.
Yeah, he certainly seems as though he no nonsense mood there. This one was not a bad delivery, again hitting through the line, and it went racing back past the bowler for 4.
So Samuel Charles, so far 4 boundaries in his total of 18. He's certainly enjoying proceedings there. Now the pressure is on Dubi set to respond after being hit for 3 consecutive boundaries to start his second over. Good response there from Dubi sets. Certainly a slower delivery. Through a bit wide outside the off stump. Had Samuel Charles reaching for it and was only able to hit it back to the bowler. So Dubi said, I'm certainly looking to use his bag of tricks to contain the enraging Samuel Charles.
Yeah, good thinking, and Samuel Charles just have to show some batting skill. They be aware that obviously the bowler is going to come back, he's going to try things, and he have to be able to really just stand up to it.
And that one, Samuel Charles looking to hit over the mid-wicket. Over mid-wicket, he's able to get an inside edge into his pad. So it's certainly all action. So from Samuel Charles, seems Crony that his instructions is to go out there at the top of the order and look to swing his bat.
Well, I think he hit a few 2 beautiful shots. He hit a pull shot, he hit a straight drive for 4. That should give him any difficulty he has now. He should be able to settle in now and look to play each ball on his merit. But again, he's looking to force deliveries that is not there to be hit.
Very good. Certainly a good comeback there from Dubisset. After the first 3 deliveries of the over went for boundaries, the last 3 went for 3 dot balls. So after 3 overs, St. David's they're 19 without loss.
Yeah, a good over for St. David's. Charles, making good use of 3 boundaries, 2 good shots, a straight drive, and a pull over mid wicket, and then having the outside edge going down to a fine third man for 4. St. David's after 3 overs, 19 without loss, and they would want to continue to push on, while St. Andrews will be looking to make a breakthrough.
Yeah, as sort of positive start from Samuel Charles and St. David's, 19 without loss, 18 of those scored by Samuel Charles. Kimo Peters, who has only faced 5 balls in the 3 overs, he's on strike to Kavim Hodge, as we see make some slight alterations to the field. That one he was a bit reaching forward for it and played it towards that is Sherman Lewis in the backward point position.
Yeah, and Hodges is making every effort to give the ball a lot of flight and just pushing it wide at the off stump. Another flighted ball, hit down to mid off, and was positive shot played by Peter so far.
As we see Hodge again, another flighted delivery, slow delivery, and Crony Hodge is doing what we've seen a lot of our bowlers, slower bowlers have not been doing for the tournament. Give the ball a lot of loop, as we call it, and bowling at a slower pace.
Yes, it makes it more difficult for the batsman. Now you have to think. I always believe that a slow bowlers, spinners, normally bowl too fast, but when the batsman have to think, he will have to make the right judgment, whether he must, come down the track or whether he must stay back. It puts some more doubt in the batsman and really have him to think a lot more.
That one played back, came off the outside edge, played down to third man where Sherman Lewis does the fielding. The batsman positive in the running, they able to cross over for 2. So Kimo Peters is off the mark, he's on 2, and St. David's, they're 21 without loss in over number 4.
Yeah, well played by Peters there. He opened the face of the bat and played down to a vacant third man. The backward point in Lewis had some running to do, and he picked up 2 runs.
As we see the batsmen, they having a little bit of mid-wicket conference there, that is Peters and Samuel Charles. So far, 21 without loss in their 4th over. Certainly a steady start by the St. David's batsmen. That one thrown out wide outside the off stump, and it is signaled wide by the umpire. Hodge making probably the batsman want the batsman to come after it, dangling it outside the off stump, but was just a bit wide out of the reach of the batsman. Oh, that one, Crony previously threw them up, but that one certainly would have hit the moon before it came back, landed on the pitch.
But that's a difficulty as the over is concluded. That's a difficulty because there the batsman had to leave his crease. He had to meet this delivery on the full toss, and that's the doubt that is being created in the batsman's mind when the ball is given a lot of air, when it's being tossed up. And from where we sit here, it certainly looks as though it's a full toss. He just had to step out, but he was cautious and just stood up and tried to drive. But not a bad over, a lot of variation as we see, and he pitched it wide, so it meant that even going to come after it, you had to not only come down but come across and get to the ball. So good over by Hodge, and using quite a bit of variation. So he has already bowled 2 overs, and he's, I think, one of the bowlers that St. Andrews is going to bank on very heavily.
Yeah, as we see, it's going to be more spin from the River Road end of the National Stadium as Daniel McDonnell makes his way to the into the bowling. Daniel McDonnell, he's one of the leading wicket takers in the tournament, one of the 4 bowlers into the double figures in terms of wickets taken. He has a 10 from the 5 matches and bowling at just over 6.1 run and over, as that one is played down to the fielder at mid-on. So Samuel Charles, he's off strike currently on 19, and St. David 23 without loss it over number 5. That one a bit wide outside the off stump. The batsman Peter is giving himself some room. He can't connect to. He was looking to probably pierce the offside field. He's not able to connect, and the ball into the gloves of wicketkeeper Anil Matthew.
Yeah, we'll be disappointed with that short delivery. He was not able to hit it somewhere down the backward point.
Oh! That one again. He's back, pushed through there by Daniel McDonald, and we see certainly Crony, two spinners in action, two different mode of operation. Hodge looking to flight the ball and get the batsman to come after him, and we see Daniel McDonald, total opposite, looking to push the ball a bit flatter and faster into the batsman. That one is signal wide by umpire Holas. Ball pitched on just about the middle stump, turning past the, going on with the angle. Appeal for stumped, and Crony, think Peters is certainly probably trying to hit the ball a bit too hard.
Yeah, trying to hit the ball too hard. I think there were some deliveries that really should have put away or probably get, ones or two off, and looking to hit the ball too hard and missing it.
As we see Bishop, he's pushed back to the third man, and that one, he gets hold of that one. Beautiful shot there from Kimo Peters, pierced the gap in the cover region into the boundary for 4. Certainly a good shot there from Peters to end the over. St. David's after 5, the 28 without loss.
Yeah, good shot by Peters, and this is what was necessary. Even the delivery before, he just had to come forward and stroke it through that mid-off extra cover position, which is vacant. But this time, he didn't go for the big swing. And one important thing that we note here, Kerry, is that the batsmen have been communicating regularly. So I would think that Charles would have come down and said something to him. So he didn't go for the big shot he was going for, but just came forward and stroked it and went through that extra cover down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, as we see, he's suddenly gotten a little darker here at the National Stadium. We see some dark clouds hovering about. Doesn't seems to pose any immediate threat, as we see a light sprinkle blesses us here at the National Stadium. What some people might call just a passing cloud, and we hope it's nothing more than that. It seems not the umpires, they're not bothered at the moment as the action continues in the middle, but with that light sprinkle on the grass, certainly will be difficult for the spin bowlers, as we see Hodge using the towel to sort of get a dry grip as he about to start his third over. Yeah,
well, pretty surprising that he's coming on for his third over. He only has 4 overs, he bowled 2, and he's coming on to bowl his third over. One would have thought that you'd want to hold him. You want to hold him back when some of the better batters come on. He would be the sort of bowler that are able to keep things very tight. But St. Andrews have other ideas as he bowls, and this. And picked up a very important wicket again. Charles looking to hit some over cover, and was only able to hit it down to the man at cover. And St. Andrews picking up the important wicket of Samuel Charles.
Yeah, the breakthrough there for the St. Andrews team. Samuel Charles gone for 14. Very good catch down there by Jensen. I make it to be Jensen. Richard Rogers on the cover boundary. He goes for 19, and that brings the West Indies limited over specialist Andrew Fletcher to the crease as he strides to the middle quite comfortably. Last game he probably would have been suffering a little bit of some issues with his legs, but from early indications Crony looked shredding out there quite comfortably, and we hope that he would have recovered from those issues which affected him last game.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to see. Sometimes it just requires a little bit of cricket sense, Charles Hodge in his third over, and you'd want to make sure that you play him off. He's the kind of bowler that you'll want to keep out for a while, and I think that 28 without loss there was a pretty good start. But Samuel Charles looking to hit over the top, was only able to hold out that deep extra cover.
Quite an ugly shot is the best description, and he scores. Kimo Peters looking to attack the Kavim Hodge. He was advanced down the wicket. The ball hit his pad, trickled behind, went scampering through for a single, sent back by his partner Andre Fletcher. Anil Matthew was able to dislodge the bails, and in the opinion of umpire Holas, he was short of his crease. As we look at the replay now, the ball trickles behind. Field there by Dubisset, sent in. And is it a situation where his bat was short of the crease? We can't see it from this vantage point, but certainly a needless dismissal there from St. David's. And they've lost 2 wickets in 2 balls in a 28 for 2.
Well, it's a poor shot by Peters. Really, it was a nothing shot. You have just lost the wicket of Charles. And as we look at it here again, it was a quicker delivery. He's looking to pull, hit him high up, and where he was going again, and you could see him falling just short of it. But we have seen Peters in the inning that he played, looking to take runs that really was none. And this ball was behind his back. He couldn't see what was happening while he was running down the wicket.
Yeah, and I think what happened there with that dismissal is that probably he instead of sliding the bat into the crease, he probably would have dropped it and the ball would have just landed outside of the crease and never got beyond the line. And certainly an unfortunate way to get out. And his team now, after being 28 without loss after 5 overs, after 5.2 overs, and they visit 28 for 2 new batsmen at the crease.
Well, the captain, Keon George, he joins Andre Fletcher. None of these players have faced a delivery, and these are 2 of the senior players who will want to really dig in.
Yes, we see on team hat-trick for St. Andrew on the cards as this one is turned. And the batsmen, they mid-pitch collision there between Andre Fletcher and Keon George. But safely, they're able to just bounce off each other and get into the crease. So, Crony, it's certainly happening here at the National Stadium at the moment.
Yeah, what is happening, both batsmen bounce in the middle. As we look at it here, it seemed to be George call. And just seem to be running into each other. It's really, really strange. But no damage done. He's off the mark with 1.
Andre Fletcher now he faces strike, as we see a fielder in a very straight mid-wicket as he goes back to Hodge, pushes it down the wicket. And I think Fletcher, the senior veteran in this lineup, will be looking to see if he can face off those deliveries from Hodge without any damage caused by the Dominican slow left-arm bowler.
Yeah, and I see Fletcher using his feet nicely and hit it down to mid-off. Bishop just fumbling a bit. But this is called, and George responded, and so they picked up an easy single.
Yeah, so the final delivery about to be bowled in over number 6, the final delivery of the power play. And as it stands, St. Andrews, they would have enjoyed the early spoils in the first 6 overs. 30 for 2, going at just about 5 runs and over. They will be quite happy with proceedings and probably be looking to see if they can get a third one inside of the power play. Gift there from Hodge, slow delivery, turning down the leg side. Keon George looking to hit it fine, but can beat. That is McDonald in the fine leg position. So a loose delivery, which was spared any damage there from Keon George.
Yes, and again Hodge looking to use again the variation, but again this one short. And I think the slowness of the delivery, he was not able to get anything much onto it and get it finer. And the fielder there just coming around and field. So he has completed his 3rd over. Kavim Hodge 3 overs, 1 for 10 after 6 overs. St. David's being asked to bat first, 30 for 2.
Yeah, as we see, it's going to be another change in the bowling. Dana George, the player of the match, from their last match against St. Mark in the round robin phase of the tournament. He'll be taking up the action. And currently, the interesting thing to note is that after 6 overs, we now have this 4th bowler to bowl over number 7, but we yet to see the Wynwood Volcanoes professional player in the lineup, Sherman Lewis.
Yeah, very interesting. We haven't seen him yet. One would probably think that he probably going to come from this northern end, come next over, hot bowl 3 overs. They probably might just want to hold him back for 1 more over.
Yeah.
But again, it's George is coming from that southern end. I think is the ideal end for the left-hander. So.
Yeah, he's bowling with the wind blowing from east to west here at the National Stadium, and he will certainly get some help with the wind moving the ball across the right-handed batsman Andre Fletcher, who is facing strike. Whoa, certainly a loosener there from Dana George. Pitched wide and continued, and good effort there from Anil Matthew to keep the ball from going behind for any additional runs.
Yes, he would want to first of all pick a line on length before he look for some pace, but you could see him there looking for pace first delivery, and we really went really wide. Good take by keeper Matthew.
Yeah, and knowing Andre Fletcher is certainly a batsman who relishes pace off the wicket, so he'll be looking for that extra pace from George.
Yeah, good delivery. This is the line you want. Just around off stump, leaving the right-handed batsman. Fletcher doing the right thing as he came forward and just allowed it to go through to the keeper. But this is sort of length and line that George will want to be bowling.
Yeah, it's he's strong offside fielder, and we have 2 fielders inside the circle. That is Daniel McDonald in backward point and his brother Donald in extra cover. Yes. Turn onto the leg side, goes through for a quick single. Attacking the ball there, that is Akeem Ogis coming in from the mid wicket, but can restrict the batsman from crossing over. So Andre Fletcher, he moves to 2, and St. David in over number 7, they're 32 for 2.
Yeah, just a bit dicey that single there as it plays just to backward square, and the fielder they coming in very quickly, and George just making his ground. But good pick up and show. George was equal to it and complete another single.
Keon George, he's one of the leading run scorer in the tournament. He's just 2 runs behind. He was 2 runs behind Johan Jeremiah at the top of the table to begin. Now he moves level with Jeremiah with that single played down to third man, where Dubisset does the fielding. So he moves to 2, and St. David 33 for 2 in over number 7.
Yeah, good shot by George. He was on his back foot and really straight it down to backward point. He was in full control, no danger. And he picked up a single as the ball went down to third man on the boundary.
Yeah, St. David's losing 2 wickets back to back in the previous over would have certain dampened their positive start, as Fletcher keeps the scoreboard ticking over with a single 2-shot fine leg. And Dubisset has to do some the fielding again. Now he goes back onto the third man boundary, so he's in shot for Fletcher in fine leg, and he's back to the left-handed George in third man. So Dubisset certainly putting in the miles early here at the National Stadium.
Yeah, and just making an adjustment there. See the mid wicket coming around and backward square, just going out well. There's a left-hander in strike.
Oh, short and a bit wide. George not able to connect. He was looking to probably hit that behind Ogis in the backward point position, but the ball goes straight to the keeper. Appeal there, but was only the wicket keeper interested in what was happening in the middle.
Yeah, short delivery and didn't pass far from the bat. As, again, George was looking to cut. He made no contact.
Good delivery on the off stump. They go through for a quick single and hits the stumps, but the ball came through so slow there from from Dana George that Keon George was able to go into crease, but certainly Crony a risky single taken there, end up saving by the slowness of the throw from Dana George.
Yeah, there seemed to be no confidence in the running. We see a couple singles that have been taken really, it was very close as we look at it here. This ball was actually played back along the wicket, just on the offside, and interestingly, they took off for a run. We look very close. As we know, George do seem to have a nice problem in judging singles, and Fletcher just had pull up on a little injury, and again it's because of the short run. So they will really need to look at the short runs.
Yeah, it's going to be more spin coming in from the northern end of the ground. So Hodge would hit this spell with just 3 overs. He would save 1 for the latter stage of the inning, as we're going to be Richard Rogers. He's coming in from the northern end of the ground. Rogers has picked up 5 wickets to date in the tournament, 5 wickets in 18 overs, going at 4.5 runs and over. So he's been quite economical. His best performance 3 for 10, and would be looking to pick up some wickets for his team to help strengthen their position early on here at the National Stadium in semi-final number 1.
Yeah, and St Andrews banking on spin. No sign of Sherman Lewis. The left-handed Keon George. 1 slip.
Short delivery, which George goes into his wicket, pulls, doesn't time it well, and goes onto the leg side where that's Ned does the fielding. So Keon George moves to 4, and St. David's 36 for 2. As we see a good delivery there, Fletcher comes forward and plays it onto the outside. And Crony, so far from Keon George, seems to have been struggling to time in those short deliveries. Not known one who is a very much cutter or puller of the ball, tends to love the ball up in his half. And St. Andrews have been able to get away with a few short deliveries to George.
Yeah, you're right. That first delivery was a long hop, and he was looking to hit it too hard, really. And it just went out to at a square leg position and picked up 1. But St. Andrews is really banking on spin. Certainly, they would have done the homework in terms of the bowling against St. David's. As you know, most of the batsmen like the ball coming onto the bat. And it therefore means that it's harder for them in terms of shot making. Even when the bad deliveries come, you find that they have difficulty in putting it away.
Yes, St. Andrews, they've started very, very well, as they'd have done the previous match. We're into over number 8, and they conceded just about 4.83 runs and over. So they'll be quite pleased with their performance and being able to contain a strong batting lineup from St. David's so far. Oh, good delivery there. One which pitched and probably just went on with the arm a bit. Keon George looks probably playing for turn.
Yeah,
and beaten by the straight one.
Yeah, and we see the strengthening of the leg side field with the mid wicket going into position. So certainly.
And another delivery beats the edge of Keon George, and certainly Keon George is finding it difficult at the moment in the middle. He's on 4 from 8, so too is Fletcher 4 from 8. And after 8 overs, St. David's 36 for 2.
Yes, and Andrews continue to do a good job with the spinner. So you see George here looking really in no man's land. Really a nothing shot, looking to play on the offside, and was beaten. Certainly they are doing a good job in keeping things very tight after 8 overs. It's 37 for 2.
Yeah, as we see, it's going to be Dana George. He will take coming in from the southern end of the ground. He's into his second over. Conceded 5 of the first over, and Andrew Fletcher takes strike as we hear the sound of his bat tapping the crease coming through the stumps mic. And advances down the ground, but only able to hit it up to the fielder at long off. So Andre Fletcher with the score on 38 for 2 in over number 9. He'll be certainly looking to see if he can accelerate the score a bit.
Yes, and this one pitched up, and again he was looking to hit down the ground. It went down to a long off. George having to get out of the way as went as they pick up another single.
Turned down to long on again by Keon George, so he gets off strike, and the scores keep turning over. Crony, we haven't seen the volume of boundaries so far in this partnership, but I think what they have been able to do quite well is to keep the strike turning over between the two bats, between the pair and the middle.
Yes, important to rotate the strike. You know, you pick up 4 or 5 over. You know, it's still good. You know, when the bad ball come, you take the boundaries. But you have to give St Andrews credit. They have been bowling pretty well. Again, to a set plan.
And this time Fletcher, instead of going through long off, goes to long on. Hit down there, thinking for a second. He's sent back by George, and I think at the end of the day, it's a quite good decision made, as we saw a strong throw coming in there from Darren Ned on the long on boundary. So another single to Fletcher. He's on 6. He's 6 from 10, and St. David's are 40 for 2.
Yeah, not getting hold of that shot, as Fletcher giving himself a little room and looking to hit down the ground, and you can see the ball went down, bouncing, didn't really time it well. I think this is why they feel that long on was able to stop it before he get to the boundary.
Thick bottom edge there, balloons over the covers, where Ogis comes off the boundary and does the fielding. So the St. David's batsman, you can see the attempt is there, the urgency is there to get the runs moving at a quicker pace, but they're not being able to time the ball and being denied. So some good bowling and fielding so far from St. Andrew.
Yeah, slower delivery, wide off the off stump, and George having to reach for it, just coming off the edge and going over backward point, and he pick up one more.
And Fletcher hits it down the ground. Darren Ned came wrong from the long on position. He was able to just watch the ball drop a bit in front of him. The bowler, Dana George, is not happy with the effort. Ned decided quite early on to decide to save the boundary rather than attacking the ball to take the catch, which probably may have been the wiser decision at the end of the day.
Yes, I think so. It dropped short of him. Fletcher again didn't get hold of it, and Ned dropping way short of Ned. And he picking up another single.
This one guides it down to third man, open the face there. The batsman, they come through for one, thinking about a second. But again, Dubisset was able to attack the ball and get it back into the keeper. The end of the over number 9, which consisted of 6 singles, and St. David's are 43 for 2. Fletcher is 7, Keon George is on 7.
Yeah, and St. Andrews continue to keep things very tight. I think both batsmen is finding difficulty to time the ball. We see Fletcher looking to hit down the ground on 2 occasions, but the timing was not there. And again, it's because of the ball not coming off the wicket at the moment. You'll see a difference later on in the day when the sun beats on the wicket and the ball is going to come off. I think that's what makes the decision a good one for St. Andrews winning the toss to field first.
Yeah, as we see the over number 10 now to be bowled by Rogers, approaching the halfway stage of the innings. And Crony, I think in retrospect, when I saw the 2 opening batsmen, Charles and Peters going out to the middle, thought it was probably a missed opportunity to open it one of the more attacking batsmen up front. As we see a delivery there, George again troubled by one going straight on from Rogers. Probably a Fletcher or a Keon George opening the attack, opening the innings. That wasn't the case, as we saw Peters and Charles. Charles got 19 in 15, but probably a missed opportunity to have one of the more established batsmen opening the inning.
Yeah, well, Fletcher, as the opening batsman, opening at the highest level,
certainly a wild return there from Donald McDonald. Had the keeper, Anil Matthews, scampering. He wasn't able to collect. Neither was the fielder backing up Amikel Dubisset. So the fielders, the batsmen, they get an extra run. So 2 runs to Keon George as he retains strike.
Yeah, the more opportunity you can get, Fletcher being opening batsman, opening at the highest level, the more opportunity you can get to open bat. I think you should take full advantage of it. So really and truly, I don't understand why he didn't open the batting.
Yeah, they certainly have a lot of batting in the middle and the low order, but at the top of this, that one again, George was a bit challenged by the delivery, gets a thick outside edge, beats the keeper down to the third man area where the fielding is done to the batsmen. They come back for 2, but certainly George is finding it difficult at the moment against Richard Rogers.
Yeah, he's having difficulties pulling away and looking to play the ball on the offside, but some of the deliveries, good deliveries, he needs to just come forward and push in front of him. But still trying to defend and also to play a shot.
This time he attacks, hits leading edge over the fielder at the short extra cover position. Dana George running back, can't get to it. Neither is Kavim Hodge running in. And one which failed, just eluded the both fielders. And George, he survives. He moves on by 1 to 11. And St. David's, they're 47 for 2 in over number 10.
Yeah, it's having tremendous difficulty playing the spinner there. Not to the pitch of it. Just hitting it in the air. Dropping fall short of the long on fielder, and he pick up another single. But really having really difficulty in his timing and his judgment. He just need to take some time to settle in a bit.
Yeah, as we see, Dana George probably pulled out at that one a bit early. As the ball, this one is played into the covers where Daniel McDonald does the fielding. So St. David's certainly finding it difficult at the moment. We're approaching the midway stage of the inning and they're yet to score 50.
Yeah, it have been really good going by St. Andrews, sticking to the plan.
And Fletcher opens up his stance. He was able to get to that one, hit it over the field that long off. Teddy Bishop can only watch it, sails over his head. And finally, a boundary in this partnership. 6 runs to Andre Fletcher, and the 50 up for St. David's at the end of 10. 50 coming up in 10 overs. Fletcher is on 13, Keon George is on 2, and 54 for 2 in 10 overs.
Yeah, and that would have broken his shackles a bit, pitched up, and Fletcher really give it a full treatment. Got under it and hit it cleanly over long off. And for 6, good confident shot at 54 for 2. They would feel a little relieved there. Just being able to pick up that 6.
Yeah, no, as we see the replay, probably not hit it, maybe come off the middle, more the lower end of the bat, but the bats of these guys and them these days are so good, Crony, that even a ball not hitting in the splice, as we would call it, the middle of the middle, is able to get sail over the boundary for 6.
Yeah, you see, as he hit it also, he pulled away, give himself some room. You know, if he stepped and really get closer to the delivery, really would have gone much further.
As the 11th over about to begin, turned onto the onside there, Keon George. He moves to 13. And Crony now halfway stage, St. Dave will be looking to more than double the score they have at the moment. Still Roland Cato and Ryan John in the hut. 2 batsmen that quite competent and capable of accelerating the scoring rate, and they would be looking probably in the region of about 130, maybe 140 from this position on out.
Yeah, I think they would be disappointed if it doesn't get up to 140.
As this time Fletcher opens up himself again and hits well into the stands on the southern end of the National Stadium. Big hit from Fletcher, consecutive 6s for Fletcher. He moves to 19, and St. David's are 61 for 2 in over number 11.
Yeah, and this is a very good shot by Fletcher. Yeah, pitched up and really swung through this one and hit it over long off and really went for a big 6, probably about 80, 90 yards.
Yeah, certainly a good clean hit there from Fletcher, and he certainly announced his intentions of changing gear here at the National Stadium. Shorter and pulled down there to the fielder. That's an excellent catch. I make it to be Akeem Ogis on the backward square boundary, and certainly Crony saw that one coming, was able to steady himself and took a very good catch to dismiss the dangerous Andre Fletcher for 19. St. David's there 61 for 3.
Yeah, big wicket there for St. Andrews. Again, Fletcher pulling away there, and I think it was good for the bowler to drop it a bit shorter and closer to the batsman. I think what Fletcher had to do was to try to hit it on the ground, but again he was looking for the maximum and only able to hit it straight down the fielder's throat. Really didn't have to move. And a very big blow there, struck by St. Andrews, and it was 61 for 3 in the 11th over.
Yeah, Fletcher, he goes to 19. as the new batsman, the Roland Cato, another of the Windward's Volcanoes player, as we saw just seeing the replay again there. A very comfortable catch there from O'Geese. He seems not to have been flustered a bit. The ball shot, dug in a bit. Fletcher swivel pulled, and O'Geese didn't have to move. Comfortable catch, and certainly good catch in there from the youngster.
Yeah, I think the movement he made before actually put him in trouble, and I think it was really good for the bowler, seeing his movement to bring it close to him, and Fletcher only able to hit it down to the fielder on the boundary.
Yes, Fletcher, good bowling there from Dana George. As we say, followed the batsman. Fletcher looking to advance, and the bowler able to follow him, cramped him a bit, and he was certainly not in control of that shot. Fletcher dismissed now brings Roland Cato to the crease. The previous match he scored against St. George's. He scored 44. He came in at a position where his team was a bit, behind the 8 ball a bit, and he was able to up the scoring rate. He got 44, which included 4 big sixes and 2 fours. Came off just 34 deliveries, and will be looking to replicate similar performance for his team here today.
Yeah, and that's the difference. Is these players, they are able to hit the ball out of the ground, as we saw Keto did in the previous match, and Fletcher they just hitting 2 sixes and holding out on the mid-wicket boundary. Ryan John, as I say, next to come, and these are players who can hit the ball long distances.
Dana George changing his line of attack now to around the wicket, looking to angle the ball back into Keto, cramp him, deny him for the room. That one appeal there for catch down the leg side and signal wide by umpire Holas. They probably an appeal to maybe tell the umpire that he probably was close, as we see the replay from the replay. Certainly no bat involved in that one, and maybe an appeal out just to probably put doubts in the minds of the umpire.
Well, it didn't pass very fast, so I don't think it's too much a bad appeal. And Keto looking to turn down the leg side.
And Keto gets behind that one, pushes it back to the bowler. So the end of a successful over, one which we saw touring 6 down the ground, and next delivery was a good catch by O'Geese to dismiss Andre Fletcher. And at the end of 11 overs, St. David 62 for 3.
Yeah, good over by George. He has just concluded his third over, one for 19, but picking up the vital wicket of Andre Fletcher. He would be happy being able to pick up that wicket.
Yeah, as we see, it's going to be Rogers will continue from the northern end of the ground. He's into his third over. So far, none for 13. Certainly has had troubled Keon George a bit, as we see alterations being made to the field. O'Geese back on the mid-wicket boundary. His compatriot Teddy Bishop, he's on the long-off boundary. 2 fielders out on the leg side. And on the offside, we have out Kavim Hodge in long off. And on the cover boundary, we have Donald McDonald. So another fielder dispatched to the boundary, that is Darren Ned. He's sent back to the square leg, deep backward square. So they're certainly preparing for an onslaught from the St. David's batsmen.
Well, George is pretty strong on the leg side. Really like to pull on the leg side, so I know they would. Obviously, they have the backward square on the boundary and the mid wicket on the boundary, mid wicket, and the long on.
Keto gets on strike, as we're going to see the alterations made now for the right-handed batsman, as we have 5 fielders inside the circle. Fielder in slip, that is Daniel McDonald, looking to put some pressure on the new batsman, as Keto reaches to that one and hits it past the outstretched hands of Dubisset in the extra cover boundary. So he's off the mark. He moves to 1, and St. David 64 for 3 in over number 12.
Yeah, good confident shot by Keto, just reaching and driving past the cover and going down to the cover fielder on the boundary. Again, George just tugging the ball a bit. You could see him looking to favor the leg side and hitting that ball, bouncing down to long on, picked up by Bishop. Amble, another single.
Shot came back and cut. Is able to go towards the short third man region where the batsmen go through for a single. So certainly timing has not been one of the elements of the batting from St. David's. They've struggled a bit with the with the proceedings in the middle, and it's reflected in the score 66 for 3 in over number 12. Yeah, strong shout there from the Rogers, asking the fielder Sherman Lewis in the backward point position to send a return to the bowler's end. Powerful throw from Lewis. Can't deny George from getting home. So one more to George. He's on 16 runs. Short delivery and dispatch, rightfully dispatched there from Kato, sailing over the mid-wicket position, and certainly not a good way to end the over there from Richard Rogers.
Yeah, short delivery and really given the right treatment. Kato hit it over wide long on. Again, you could see still difficulty with it in terms of the timing, but was able to get it over long on and picking up a welcome 6.
Yeah, certainly. The boundaries certainly are in from the earlier rounds of the tournament, but whether the boundary was back into his normal position, I think it was still over the rope. That shows you the power of the batsman, though he didn't middle it or timed it well, but he was able to get 6 runs.
So we had 12 overs bowled as the batsman. 12 overs being bowled. St. David's Axe about 73 for 3. Keon George is on 16. Kato is on 8. And St. Andrews will feel good that they have been able to keep things, pretty tightly this morning.
Yeah, just going just a little over 6 runs and over. He have picked up 3 wickets, including the dangerous Andre Fletcher. As we see the change, Sherman Lewis, the Windward's Volcanoes player, coming in from the southern end. So to be able to bowl 12 overs, conceding just 6 runs, and you still have Sherman Lewis, who can bowl his full complement of over, is certainly good effort from the St. Andrews players.
Yeah, but I do feel St. David's batsmen will feel more comfortable facing the faster stuff. Let's see what happens.
Oh, that one kept out there from George, played onto the offside. Ball certainly coming back in from outside the off stump from that is Sherman Lewis looking to attack the stumps. He knows Keon George very well, loves to have wit where he can drive, and this time keeping it close to the batsman.
Yeah, good single, played with soft hand, and they were able to take a very easy single. Lewis goes over the wicket to the right-handed Kato, a long one, a mid-wicket on the boundary, a short pine leg on the leg side, a long off cover, a cover on the boundary, backward point third man.
Again, another delivery played onto the offside there. So certainly good batting from the St. David's batsmen. The boundaries, they're not coming at regular pace, but what they've been able to do quite well is to play the ball with soft hands and get the score ticking over.
Yes, and Lewis coming in at the 13th over. Bit surprising, Kerry?
Yeah, well, surprising, but at the same time, previous match, both Dubisset and George did have done pretty well, and they were given the bowling responsibilities upward, as we see a very good delivery there from Lewis. Has Keon George looking to square him up a bit and taken maybe on the upper portion of the tie. Certainly a good start so far from Sherman Lewis, and his responsibility now would be to come in and to bowl a tight line and length and make it as difficult as possible for the St. David's batsmen.
Yeah, we see St. Andrews banking quite a bit on spin, on slow bowling, opening with Hodge, and then we had Rogers and keeping things very tight. So I think, despite we haven't seen Lewis early on, but they can feel happy the way they have found themselves now.
Oh, he's bowled him! Keon George drags one onto his stumps, looking for that big booming shot, maybe over the onside, able to get an inside edge, and he goes. Keon George, a captain for St. David's, departs for 17, and St. Andrew, they're really on top here at the National Stadium. At the moment, St. David's 75 for 4 in over number 13.
Yeah, a disciplined shot played by Keon. They just foot didn't move, just swing. And that ball taking the edge and go back into the stump. Really a bad shot, poor shot selection by George. And St. Andrews picking up yet another wicket.
Yeah, Crudy, that's what happens when you are able to restrict the boundaries and looking for the scoring rate just about 6 runs and over into over number 13, looking to accelerate. The ball wasn't a bit wide enough for that shot he wanted. Ball pitched outside the off stump, coming back into him, cramped him, and he's only able to get an inside edge and onto the off stump.
Yes, again, you could see him looking to hit somewhere on the leg side. Now, if that right foot came forward and hit through the line, he would have stroked that ball through the offside really, really easily. But again, it shows his batting, always looking to hit on the leg side.
Yeah, as we see the new batsman, Ryan John, another of the Windward's Volcano players. Ryan John, former Under 19 World Cup champion with the West Indies. They would have won the World Cup, Under 19 World Cup in 2016. As he now strides to the middle to partner Roland Keto, who is also relatively new to the crease, who is on 9 from 7. But this partnership from Crony, certainly an important one for St. David's to help them set a competitive total.
Yeah, I think this is an important partnership. Keto, Ryan John. John didn't do too well in the last game. Keto got 44. And this will be, I think, the final real partnership that's going to give you an indication in terms of what kind of score St. David's is going to get. If they're going to get up to 130, 140, which looks pretty difficult, but we know the ability of John, and let's hope that he's going to come off today.
Shot, a beautiful shot there from John down to, he's able to hit that one well, but can't beat Kavim Hodge on the cover boundary. So wide delivery there from Shaman Lewis. John was able to extend his hand, hit it well, but I think he probably would be telling himself he's hit that one too good to just pick up one run.
Yeah, in there a bit, away from the cover fielder. But you could see his intention there as he really went after that delivery. Hitting it down to a deep cover for one.
Yeah, Shaman Lewis now changes his angle of attack. He comes around the wicket to Keto, as the fielder is, another fielder is brought into the circle on the onside, so mid-wicket in place. 5 fielders inside the circle, 3 on the off, 2 on the on. And further changes, now Dubisset is sent back to the fine leg boundary. Good delivery there, short rising delivery, which Keto gets on top and pushes it back to the bowler, thinking maybe for a moment there was a single, but Ryan John sends him back. So the end of a successful over. At the end, one which cost 3 runs and picked up the wicket of the captain, Keon George, and after 13 overs, St. David's there 76 for 4.
Yeah, good over by Lewis, picking up that important wicket of George. St. David's 4 down for 76. We are in the 13th over. And St. Andrews continue to keep a stranglehold on the batting of St. David's.
Yeah, and quite a lot of options left for the captain, Anil Matthew from St. Andrew. So far he has used 6 bowlers. As Rogers, he's about to bowl his 4th. So far, none from 24 from 3. Kavim Hodge has one up his sleeve, so too is Dana George. Daniel McDonald has as much as 3 left. Amikel Dubisset 2 left, and Shaman Lewis 2 left. So certainly the captain for St. Andrews is in a good position where he's able to keep the scoring rate in check and also have bowlers of quality with a lot of overs left. Another single there to Ryan John, who moves on to 2, brings Keto on strike.
And Rogers in this final over. So far, none for 20.
Kato looking to give himself some room, but can beat the fielder at the backward point position. Who is that's Jamie Buddy in that position, so he can score.
And we have not seen the bowling of Jamie Buddy. Really.
The batsmen, they go through for a quick single and they get through. A wayward throw a bit from Daniel McDonald, but the fielders, they're not able to take advantage of it. The batsmen are not able to take advantage of it. Yeah, well, I think Buddy has always been a sort of last resort for St Andrew. You see him bowl a couple of times when really it was they were looking to find something to happen, but with the options available to him today, and I'm not too sure he'll turn to Buddy today.
Yeah, well, actually, I think we are mistaking the fielder in the point. Actually, Buddy is off for today. That seemed to be Ned in that backward point. Backward point position.
Yes, that is Darren Ned in the backward point position. Yes. As they go through for a quick single, return comes in, dropped there by the fielder, the bowler, and probably would have done himself some damage in looking to collect the return. Powerful return there from Darren Ned, quite a strong young man. As we see the bowler Rogers, he runs off the field, looking for some attention from the substitute fielder, and quite a bit of a...
Yeah, he was looking to take that ball and pull it to the stumps, and you can see it's some hit probably on the fingers, and really seemed to be in tremendous pain at the boundary rope. But I think he will continue.
Yeah.
It's 80 for 4 over number 14, and we've seen both batsmen picking up easy singles. I just have to watch the running a bit. I think this one was still a bit close, but they was able to complete that single. Kato is on 11, Ryan John is on 3. And St. David's asked a bat this morning after St. Andrews won the toss, lost the wicket of Fletcher, the Kimo Peters, Samuel Charles, and then finally the wicket of Keon George. They are 80 for 4.
Yeah, just 6 overs left. 6 overs, 36 deliveries. If we can, as much as 10 runs and over, would get them to about 140, which I think, which is what they would have in mind. But it'll be certainly difficult to get maybe at 10 runs and over, because the St Andrews bowlers, they have been bowling quite well so far. The ball may just come holding on into the pitch a little bit, not coming onto the bats as they would have liked. And the fielding, I know St Andrews would make it as difficult as possible, but the quality of those two in the middle there certainly can turn it up at any moment, and that's what St Davis will be banking on. A good feeling there from Daniel in the slip. He's able to get onto that one. Quick return into the keeper to keep Ryan John in check. So the end of over number 14, St. David's there 80 for 4. Roland Kato is on 11 and Ryan John on 3.
Yeah, and this pair would want to stay together probably until maybe the 19-20 at over. This is a pair that really can turn things around, as you said, Kerry, and one would be hoping that they will be able to stay together up to the 20th over. Now Kato, who scored had a good inning in the previous match, does have the ability to clear the boundary pretty easily. John, who didn't do too well, was certainly showing signs of really want to go after the bowling.
It's going to be Sherman Lewis as Rogers. He goes off to seek some further attention to his fingers. So he's he's replaced by Jensen Phillip, the substitute fielder. Sherman Lewis, he's at the top of his marks, gets ready for the fielder to take his position to start over number 15, and it's certainly an important passage of play. Final 6 overs, St. David's going at 5.71. St. Andrew will be looking to see if they can keep them to just maybe about 6.5, as that one guided between the two fielders there. Maybe not a good effort from Donald McDonald, one of the two fielders in the backward square position. The ball is able to elude him and goes into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, this was a straight to backward point, and you can see it's a full toss and just opened the face of the bat. Just went to the left of that backward point fielder, who tried to take it on the bunks and went past him, and it went down to the boundary for 4. Welcome, boundary.
Yeah, good start there from St. Andrew. Sherman Lewis a bit full. And Kato, as we see, Crony not looking to overhit it, but more place it. And certainly the signs of, a quality batsman. Other batsmen probably would have been looking, as we say, to bust the sky with that one. But he's able to use the pace and find the gap. Short rising delivery by Sherman Lewis. Watched outside the off stump there. As we hear through the mic some conversation between the batsman and the umpire.
Yeah, Keto just a little disappointed, not no signal in terms of the height, but I think it was a good call by the umpire, the presiding umpire, just looking at the square leg umpire for some direction.
Yeah, I think Keto's contention was whether or not, that's a one-shot delivery for the over, and I think he had some he had good when we see the replay, he had good cause to ask that question. He was certainly over the shoulder height, and in limited overs, bowlers are restricted to the amount of short deliveries they can bowl over the shoulder height.
Yeah, these mid-wicket dialogue, 2 senior players, and really they would want to bring all the experience here to probably take Sandy out of a bit of a struggle there,
That one turned on to the onside to the substitute fielder. Kato gets off strike and brings Ryan John into the strike. The score now moves 85 for 4.
Yeah, a sense of calmness. When you look at Kato plays, he brings a sense of calmness to the inning, and despite what's happening around him, seemed to be very calm. That ball he played down to backward point for 4. As you rightly said, Kerry, he didn't try to take the skin off of the ball, but really played it nicely and pushing his ball to mid-wicket. You see that he was in control and easily played it and pick up a single.
Yeah, the condition still a bit gloomy here in the National Stadium. Some thicker clouds, hovering about around and above. No immediate threat for rain, but he certainly led to a cooling of the conditions in the middle. And Crony and bowlers and fielders would certainly like to be in the middle under these conditions.
Yeah, good condition to feel in.
That one is hit down the ground. Can't beat Daniel McDonald there in the extra cover position. The batsmen there were able to cross over for a single. Certainly they're making the attempt, Crony, to get the scoreboard maybe ticking at a faster rate, but St. Andrews, they continue to be disciplined in the effort.
Yeah, and you see the difference between both batsmen. Again, John was looking for power as he drove that ball, and Keto would have eased himself into that one and maybe push it past the extra cover.
Again played to Daniel McDonald in the extra cover position, so no runs scored. That's the end of the over. Yes, the end of the over, end of 15. St. David's 86 for 4. Kato is on 16. Ryan John is on 4. And Crony, we're talking about Kato, and I think Kato, as he'd have done the last match, seems to be batting on a different wicket compared to the other players in the game.
Yeah, there just seemed to be some coolness, some calmness in the way that he played, not trying to overhit the ball. You could see, and he's really timing the ball well. That shot he played down to backward point, there was no sense of force, there was no sense of power. He just pushed it and steered it. And even as he pushed the ball to mid-wicket and pick up another single, you could see the ease and the comfort in which he's playing. He does show that he has tremendous ability.
Yeah, it's going to be a new bowler from the northern end, as we're going to see Kavim Hodge. He was about to bowl his 4th over. So far, 1 for 10 off his 3. And we'll be looking to bowl a very tidy over, maybe pick up a wicket or 2 again to further strengthen the position of St. Andrews in this encounter. St. David's going so far at 5.73 in runs and over, an indication of the very disciplined bowling effort from St. Andrew. And that one a bit flatter and faster, thick outside edge, and beats the fielder at short third man for 4.
Yeah, quicker delivery day, and John again looking to flash, and it came off the edge where a first slip probably would be, and it went down to find third man, down to third man for 4. But these two would know each other very much, and they train together, and certainly, you know, the competitive nature is going to come out from each of these players.
Yeah, they'd also been teammates in the recently concluded CWI Super 50, Hodge and Ryan John. As we see John tugs that one down the ground. He hits that one well. Teddy Bishop just probably had about 2 steps to make to his left, but he was not able to get to that one as Ryan John is able to hit consecutive boundaries of Kavim Hodge. He moves to 12 and St. David's there 94 for 4.
Yeah, he hit this one really well, even though he had to reach for it, you know, but it really swung hard, and Bishop on the long on boundary really didn't have a chance.
And this one, he mows that one down to the cover point boundary. Bit disappointed himself, as you can see his reaction down there on the non-striker's end. He gets off strike, he moves to 1. He moves on by 1 to 13, and St. David's 95 for 4 in the middle of over number 16.
Yes, a bit disappointing he didn't make more use of that delivery.
Oh, that one burst through the hands of the fielder. I make it Amikel Dubisset in the extra cover boundary. A short delivery. Kato rock back, not being able to time it that well. Dubisset not able to get his hands, well, burst through his hands, and the fielder, the cover point boundary, does a field in one more to St. David's.
Yeah, just not able to keep that ball down, and then went through, hit it very hard. And Dubisset, he really went through Dubisset's hand and went down to on the boundary, the fielder on the boundary feeling.
That one again hit to the fielder in the extra cover. That's Dubisset. He's able to do the fielding on this occasion to keep Ryan John on strike. As we can hear a shout of anguish through the stumps mics. A bit disappointed that he's not able to get more from that delivery. That one comes back and hits it in front of square. The batsmen, they're coming through for a second. The good throw comes in, appeal for to the standing the umpire at square leg. And umpire Holness is on move. So very positive running there from John and Kato. They're able to pick up 2. And the end of the spell from Hodge, his 4th over goes for 12. And St. David's there 98 for 4 in over number 16.
Yeah, good pick up there by the fielder. And let's see that Bishop, Ogis.
Yeah, I think probably just got in. I think he just got in. So
yeah,
very good cricket all around.
Yeah, very close one there. I think the third umpire had to come in there to make that decision. The skating there would have been very difficult.
Just saying.
Yeah, batsman just giving the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, normally as we say, cricket is a batsman game. You know, even though we had the third umpire, we may, third other angles and slowed down. But I think, with the naked eye, he probably would have just got in with the naked eye, and I think a good decision there from umpire Holness.
It's a difficult task for the umpires. They have a split second to make those decisions. And, I guess sometimes we give them a lot of blows, but it's not an easy task. But
yeah.
John just happened to survive that one.
Yes, he's going to be Shaman Lewis, his third over. And Kato opens up his stance and hits through mid-wicket. Can only get 1. And the intention of St. David's batsmen now in the final over is clear. 99 for 4. With just about 4 overs to go, Crony 10 runs and over can get them to about 140, which I think is what they probably would have in mind from this stage out.
Yeah, I think they still can get to 240, these two players, but it's important that these two players remain if they're going to get to that sort of total.
That one hit down to the fielder short fine leg. That is Teddy Bishop, who does the fielding. So Teddy Bishop in short fine leg. Akim Ogis down on the deep backward square boundary. We have a field line mid-wicket. That seems to be Philip in mid-wicket. Long on. That is Darren Ned. Dana George is on the long off boundary. Kavim Hodge on the cover boundary. Just 4 fielders inside the circle. That one saw the batsman come in, and smart bowling there from Lewis threw it even further from the reach of Kato.
Yeah, one has to be careful not to move too early, and I think Lewis there was very wise in pushing that ball further outside the off stump as Kato trying to give himself room, looking to pick that gap, that extra cover gap there, to pick up a boundary.
Yeah, two fielders behind square on the offside. Donald McDonald is in backward point. That one throw even further wide there from Sherman Lewis, signal wide by umpire. So Lewis, you can see his attempt is to keep the ball away from Kato. Strong offside field, and he's inviting him to hit into that position rather than his favored onside position.
Yes, he's trying to bring him wide of the off stump. Now Kato realize what is happening. Well, let's see how he's going to counter that. As he's bringing the ball right up to the bat. He's endeavoring to bring the ball right up to the bat, just wide of the off stump.
Yeah, I think Kato probably would be advised to remain a bit more still in the wicket at the crease, which he does. But makes a big hike, beats the outside edge into the gloves of the keeper Anil Matthew. We hear a big appeal there from the fielders, especially those two fielders behind point on the offside. They were more interested than the bowler and the keeper, but Kato looking to up the scoring, and so far with 4 deliveries, Sherman Lewis has been only able to concede 3 runs.
Yeah, good. And one wonders why it's the batsmen don't like hitting straight, because Kato again looking to hit this one some over a wide long on, and if you would have gone straight to hit this one, you probably would have been able to hit it easily over, back over the bowler head.
And the fielders in long on and long off, they're quite wide. Big gap hitting down the ground. And this time he pushes it down the ground. The fielder George comes wrong, attacking the ball. They're only able to get a single. So one more to Kato, he moves to 19, and the score moves on to 102 for 4.
Yeah, good bowling by Lewis, keeping things very tight. St. David's have been kept very tight right through the inning. We are in the 17th over. St. Andrews, I think, has done a very good job in keeping things really quiet.
Yeah, powerful St. David's batting lineup to keep them at 6 runs and over after 17. They certainly need commendations for the effort that is the St. Andrews bowlers and the fielders. Ryan John gets inside the crease, looking to lap that behind, down to short fine leg. He gets hit on the pad. Appeal there from the bowlers. Umpire Holas is not interested.
Yeah, end of another good over by Lewis. So far 3 overs, 1 for 12. So really he has kept him quiet. We see him using the new ball at times can be very expensive, but I remember that he came into bowling at the 13th over, and really in his 3 overs only conceded 12 runs so far, has done well.
Yeah, Crony, now the question is, with 3 overs to bowl, we know Lewis have 1 left, who will be charged with the next 2. As that question is answered as Dana George, who has 1, we think that he will bowl 1 from this end, and Sherman Lewis will finish. That will take you up to over 19, and he may turn to Amikel Dubisset or Daniel McDonald to bowl the final 1.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. 3 overs to go, and one would think now that both batsmen now will have to go. Try to see how much you could get in 3 overs. Again, it will call for really sensible batting, the right judgment. Still being able to pick up your 1s and your 2s, but obviously they would be looking for the boundary now.
Yeah, they need to go. I think they need to get up to about 130, which might be even under par. Knowing that the St. Andrews batting lineup there further strengthened. You have the likes of Anil Matthew, Teddy Bishop, Akim O'Geese, Kavim Hodge, Daniel and Donald McDonald. So I think St. David's will be probably a total maybe 150 might make them feel comfortable, but 130 might be just a bit iffy total.
Yeah, I agree with you. Anything under 140, I think they'll be very disappointed.
George, that one hit down to mid-wicket, slower delivery on the line of the leg stump. Ryan Johnny had to wait a bit for that one, not able to hit it cleanly, and he gets 1 run to get off strike. And it's a no ball, so it's a free hit, and it's really a big gift now to St. David's, struggling a bit with the batting and now being given a free hit. They will certainly relish this opportunity.
Yeah, and George is just trying to slow it up a bit and keep it on his legs, or just treat down the legs a bit. And I guess with the effort, maybe just overstepping.
Yeah, so you see it's going to be Dina George into Kato, and Kato opens up himself to hit onto the onside, and he connects sweetly and cleanly, beats the fielder at the deep boundary on the onside. So 6 runs to St. David's, and Roland Kato, his second 6 of the match, he moves to 25, and St. David's they're 111 for 4.
Yeah, good shot. And it seems as though George is seemingly going to attack just a midland leg stump there, but he taking full advantage of this one and hit it over wide, long on for 6.
Kato advances down the crease. He doesn't time it well, but he connects clean in enough as that one sails over Kavim Hodge on the long on boundary for 6. So St. David's, they have gotten the impetus they've needed. They're now 117 for 4 in over number 18.
Yeah, they would want to take full advantage of the next few overs, and George being the medium pacer, they would want to take full advantage. And this one was hit again down to the long on, way over the long on fielder, down to the boundary for another 6.
Yes, the 6 hitting of Roland Kato continues. And he moves his third 6 of the inning, and now he moves on to 117. As total moves on to 117, Roland Kato is on 31, and it's certainly setting up to what could be a big over for St. David's. And that's going to be 3 consecutive 6s to Roland Kato. Kavim Hodge can only watch that sail over his head at the long on boundary. Clean hitting and effective hitting from Kato has St. David's 123 for 4 in over number 18.
Yeah, full toss given the right treatment, as Kato is looking to take full advantage of anything up in the slot. This one was really over toss and he hit it well. Again, the long on fielder just having to look at it that went over his head for another 6.
Yeah, as we'd have seen maybe a few before this over, they've been struggling a bit, but so far, Crony, so far 20 runs conceded of just 3 deliveries, certainly the impetus that St. David's would have wanted.
Yeah, this is certainly what they would have wanted.
As Kato attacks that one, not able to connect cleanly. The batsmen, they go through for a single. Kato probably would have been disappointed. He's not able to continue his 6 hitting reign. The batsmen, they cross over for a single. So far, the over concede 21 runs with 2 deliveries to go, shaping up to be one of the more expensive overs so far in the tournament. And Crony, the game of cricket can change literally in the space of an over. Now St. David's 124 for 4 with 2 overs to go, staring down maybe 150.
Yes, as we say, I would say they'll be very disappointed not getting up to 140. And this have been a good over so far. We had some 3 6s and still a delivery to go. 125 for 4.
As we see, the 50 partnership now comes up between John and Kato. 50 of 33 deliveries, 27 minutes. Kato has 29 of them, and 16 is Ryan John. Certainly the sort of response that St. David would have required after being in a pot of bother early on in the innings.
Yeah, 125 for 4.
And that time Kato, he looks to moor that one over the offside, goes down to the deep backward square boundary for a single. So it's the end of the over, which conceded 23 runs. After 18, St. David's, they're 126 for 4. Roland Kato is on 39. Ryan John is on 16. And Crony, certainly St. David's will be looking for a grandstand finish here at the National Stadium today.
Yeah, good over for St. David's. Kato, they taking full advantage of good hitting, a ball being pitched up. One started with a free hit, hitting over mid wicket, and then hitting 2 more 6s over long on, which is certainly a good over for St. David's. 126 for 4. We have 18 overs bowled, and certainly they were looking to really step it up, maybe get 140, 150. As I welcome Alternance with us this morning. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here.
And certainly you are just preparing for your encounter later on today.
Yeah, I think preparation for the team has been good. It's a very important game, I think. So we have to prepare well as a team, and I think the plans, everything have been good.
How have you been able to knit with the team in terms of with the players? I mean, obviously your experience with the players. This one goes down to the boundary for 4. Again, K2 here looking to swing again straight. And this one from Lewis coming off the edge and go down to a vacant slip position and picked up another boundary.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that's not really, as I would say, clever bowling by Sherman. With all his experience, I think the field that he has set is a very leg-sided field, and he should be. I think the plan is mostly to bowl some slower balls, and I think he just got some pace on that one. I think it's not really clever bowling by Sherman.
Yeah, and I think added to he give himself some room, so he was able to had a free swing at that delivery. He continues around the wicket. Again, the good thing he's trying to do is to keep the ball up to the bat, you know. But obviously his line, you want to keep it close to the batsman.
Yeah, exactly. I'm playing with K2. Roland K2 is a good friend of mine. I think he loves width. Balls that he could swing his arm at. So I think keeping the ball close, and this one as well, Ryan John.
So it goes down to long on a simple catch again. John looking to clear the fence, but was only able to hit it down to long on. And an easy catch. St. Ives losing their 5th wicket.
Yeah, from the start, I think he struggled a bit with, and as you see, pace off again on the ball. That's what I was just talking about. I think he struggled a bit with his timing early on. But it was just a matter of time. I think he was batting very well at giving K to the strike. I think the overs were running out, so I think he had to go as well. So
yeah, but and I want us to give the, I don't know how long you were here in terms of the bowling of the St. Andrews team. We realize that they really use a lot of variation, you know, taking the piece of the ball regularly. And this particular delivery, John looking to hit over long on, which is a slower delivery, and only able to hit it down to the fielder fielding on the boundary.
yeah, I think the change of pace kind of suits the wicket. The wicket is slow in nature. I think we have to bowl. I think the team, I think, has to bowl some slower balls. As you see, that's what works. Back into the wicket and some slow balls. It's really difficult to hit when there's no pace on the ball.
Yeah, and certainly that give you a good idea in terms of the attack for this afternoon game. But what will happen, basically, as the sun, you know, shines on the wicket, you're probably going to get a lot faster. So variation, I think, is such a key part of bowling, particularly in this 2020 games. Shondell Regis, left-handed Shondell Regis. Plays one down to third man. A ball again right up.
Yeah, excellent delivery from Sherman, I think. But bearing in mind that the batsman has just come to the wicket, normally when you just come to the wicket, your feet doesn't move that much, and the ball is right up into the block hole.
And this is what we thinking that he should be bowling. Try to keep the ball right up. And that was well bowled, and so it's well played by Peters, who just came in and steered it down to third man and pick up one more. So the aggressive Keto is on 44. Keto scoring 44 in the previous game. Was really playing a good hand as Sherman Lewis coming around the wicket. And this one is hit straight down. Where's this one goes? And it goes straight back for another 6.
Yeah, and that brings up the 50 for K2. I think he has played very well. 50 of 29 deliveries. Yeah, he has played very well. Started up a bit slow, but then he picked up the pace.
Yeah, very good
nicely.
very good in by K2. Really came in and really turned things around, as he did in the previous game. St. Davis was struggling when he came in, and he made a good 44. We are still in the 19th over, and it's 138 for 5. Sherman Lewis so far. 2 for 24 in his fourth over.
Oh,
So one more to Keto as hits on the hit down to wide long on, takes his score on to 51. The end of 19 overs. St. David's were asked to bat. They're 139 for 5. Keto 51 and Regis on 1. Really good comeback in the last few overs by St. David's. St. Andrews, in my view, bowled very well, kept things very tight, and they certainly would want to end maybe at the next 10 more.
yeah, I think 150. I think K2 will be looking for as many runs in the over as possible, but I think their mind as a team will be on 150.
Yeah. Just to go back, looking at this tournament, and who you just came off your tournament, but your view in terms of this tournament so far?
I think the tournament has been good. It has given the world an opportunity to see the youngsters, and I think they have shown themselves very well in the tournament. We see a mixture of youth and experience, and I think the experience is rubbing off for the youth. As we could see, they're performing very well. I think the tournament is very good in terms of the streams and the competitiveness of the teams.
Yeah, one of the things that I have, I'm a little bit disappointed about in terms of the runs being scored. Like your totals haven't been very, very high. We had scores of 90s, 100, and so forth. What do you think contribute to some of that? Is it the wicket, or even you could give a view on the kind of wickets that we have?
Well,
here?
not necessarily. I think that the guys have been playing.
One. Bola. Come on.
Yeah, I think that the level of cricket, most of the guys have now been introduced to this kind of cricket. So I think as time goes by, the scores will get better. Players will learn how to cope with certain conditions and will learn how to handle different situations. So I think as it is the first edition, the scores will be a little bit low. Guys are now learning how to actually go about playing T20. So I think the wickets have been good. They have been slow at times, but the wickets have been good, and there is no excuse for the low totals. But I think it's just a matter of learning and getting better as times go by.
Yes, certainly I agree with you. I think you make a strong point in terms of, as you rightly said, the first edition, and people is I just want to hit by Peters straight back mid off. Just to the right of the wicket, and the fielder feeling at mid off had to come around. I was not able to pick it up, but good shot, picking up 4 runs as we see. A short delivery, and he swung it over mid off, and it went down to the boundary for 4.
Very strong shot. Definitely not an easy shot to play, especially when the wickets are slow.
And this one is hit straight back. The fielder has some work to do, and it goes down to the boundary for 4. Another good shot, ball pitched up, and he hit straight back. And Bishop moving to his right, got his hands onto it, but was not able to stop it. But certainly a good shot played by Regis.
Yeah, very good shot. I think yeah, as I was saying back then, I think if his plan is to bowl so full, I think he shouldn't have them long off and long on so wide.
Yeah, it should be straighter.
Yeah, they should be a lot straighter.
Well, it's 149 for 5. We still have 2 deliveries, and St. David will feel a bit happier getting up to 149. I do believe that we still have a match on our hands.
Yeah, very good second half from the batting team. I think they started kind of slow.
This one comes up, they're going to run down to the boundary. Let's see what signal comes here, as this one is buys. As this one was wide off the off stump, and again Keto looking to make room for himself, and just seemed to get under the bat and was not able to be collected by the keeper. So yet another 4.
And very well bowled.
Really should be. Look like 4 wide. 4.
I think Keto stepped across, so I think wide is out of play, but I think that was very well bowled by the bowler.
Final delivery 153 for 5. St. David's being asked to bat. And this one is hit somewhere down to mid wicket. Let's see. Good stop by the fielder on the boundary there, as it really was going over the boundary, and he was able to get 2 runs. They're looking for a third run, which is impossible. And St. David to the final ball, losing the wicket of Keto. Played a very good innings, and the final score 155 for 6. St. David's, after 20 overs, Keto, last batsman out, run out for 54. And certainly St. David would have really come back from the start they had.
Yeah, definitely. I think they had a glimpse in the first 6 where Sido went into bat and played a couple of good shots, and from there they slowed down. I think the bowling unit bowled very well to restrict them in the middle. But I think that Keto, ever since he came, took charge of the game, and we could see it here by his score. He batted very well and got them to a very good total.
So St. David 155 for 6 in 20 overs, and the batting of Keto once again was really prominent in terms of that score. But St. David's batting, I think St. Andrew's bowling, one really have to give them credit, but I think they bowled pretty well. They kept things pretty tightly. It was difficult in the first half of the batting. Again, as you rightly said, the wicket was on the slow side, and they use the spinners, I think, which is a good ploy.
Yeah, as you see, Andrew Fletcher, knowing the kind of player that he is, and knowing how they bowl to him, and the kind of scores that they got in the middle. So I think that just shows how well that they bowl to him, not just to him, to the other batsmen. I think that, and the fielding at times were not up to the best, but I think they fielded very well. That added a lot of pressure onto the batting team.
Well, we now go down to the grounds. Kerry have someone down there, Fletcher with him, so we now go down to Kerry.
To the interview here, we have the Spiceman, Andre Fletcher. Andre Fletcher, it was a difficult start, but your team finished on 155. Must be pleased with the batting effort.
Of course, as you said, we didn't start it as well as we would like to, but the way Keto played, Ryan also supporting him, it was a great inning. I think we got 155. To me, I think it's a very good target based on the bowling lineup that we have, and surely we can defend it.
Certainly seems to be some confidence in the batting lineup. As we'd have talking before, a bit of a slower start, but the guys at the end certainly expressed themselves in the last few overs. Keto, as you mentioned, and St. David's must be feeling good to be able to call upon any player in the middle order to put up their hand on any given game.
Yeah, he has played on at the highest level, and myself, coming in at 3, Ryan also, who had played at the highest level. So yes, the team is very confident with our batting. And as I said, I also believe that our bowling lineup is as strong as our batting. So with the total that we have, for sure, I believe we can defend it.
Coming up against very good St. Andrews batting lineup, the likes of Kavim Hodge, Teddy Bishop, who played for St. David's for a number of years now, representing St. Andrews, Akim Okis. Relishing the opportunity of going out there against a good batting lineup?
Yeah, we don't want to underestimate them. Cricket plays on the outfield, so it's just for us as a bowling unit to execute as well as possible, ensure that we take the chances that come to us and see how it goes.
And finally, Andre Fletcher, we've seen him on television playing cricket all over the world in the recent few months. Must feeling good to be back home now playing cricket in front of television for your local fans?
Of course, being out there is not as easy as people might think, and being, back at home also, it's to be honest, it's a bit relieving. So, yeah, I'm happy to be home. I'm happy to be spending time with the family and also playing cricket. It's good that the association has put out this tournament, and it's growing from strength to strength. Hopefully it can continue. Sponsors can come on board, and yeah, the guys, the local players, they're showing their talent, and now the whole world can see what Grenada has to offer, and hopefully we can do better.
All right, well, Andrew Spiceman Fletcher, all the best to St. David's for this match and the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so that's it from the boundary. St. David's 155 for 5 in the 20.
Yeah, very very interesting comment by Fletcher there. It's at 155. They will defend it. This is very positive.
Well, I think he's confident in his bowling. I think he has to take into consideration that the wicket and the other batsmen. But I think he's bowling, knowing he's from Grenada, and I guess he knows the other batting unit. So I guess he's just confident. I mean, nothing wrong in being confident in your bowlers.
Yeah, I think it's the right way to think.
Yeah.
Well, the news is St. David's scored 155 for 6. They been asked about by St. Andrews. And we will resume in probably about the next 10 minutes as St. Andrews endeavor to get 156 for victory.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game, more money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun.
With more jackpot money,
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 team, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game, more money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Get Vax. It's your best shot. Hello.
A message from the Ministry of Health.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
Welcome back. We are about to see the second innings. St. Andrews first inning. They are trying to get 156 for victory and also to book their place in the finals. St. David's scoring 155 for 6 in 20 overs. Welcome for the first time this morning, Justin Hector. Good morning.
Good morning, Cody, and morning, viewers, wherever you're tuning to this live here from the National Stadium in Grenada. And of course, it's a big day for both of these teams. It's we now go home.
Yeah, we down to the knockout stage. St. David's 155. You had a chance to look at the morning session in terms of the wicket, the performance of St. Andrews.
Yes, I thought it just got away from them a little bit coming to the tail end of the business end of the innings.
Yeah.
I thought it gotten away from them a little bit. Probably, if they had maintained the control, probably they would have been chasing 120, 130. But I think that additional 25 runs, 24 runs can be very crucial.
Yeah. But I do believe that they did very well the first half, maybe the first three quarter of the game, in that they kept a tight hold on St. David's batting. You look at St. David's batting and the ability of some of the players that's on the team. You know, you would expect that it's a team that probably would be looking pretty close to 200. But I think they was able to keep them very quiet, kept them very tight, and pick up some important wickets early.
Well, and all looking at the context of the field, it seemed to be the ropes seem to have come in maybe a yard or two from what we have seen. I don't know. It looks a little bit smaller to me today. I don't know. Maybe just my eyesight. But of course, we're playing on the pitch closer to the western end, the western side. Yeah. So there's no real apparent short side or short boundary. Maybe straight down the ground.
Well, we are about to see the commencement of the St. Andrews inning. Anil Matthew is going to face first delivery, Teddy Bishop. And coming from that southern end, Nilon Pascal is going to bowl to Matthew. Matthew's hitting this one just over backward square, this shortest delivery, and he's going to come back for 2 runs. Again, lifting delivery, and he looking to hook and just get it over the backward square for 2.
Yes, not maybe getting the type of contact that he was hoping to. Of course, Pascal not having the pace of former years, and Matthew looking, but it's a good sign, looking to be positive, only looking to take advantage of the field which is inside the circle for most of the players. Again he goes, and this time he times it much better and gets his away towards the deep mid-wicket boundary for 4.
Yeah, good positive start by St. Andrews. Matthew again pick it up on a short delivery from Pascal and hitting it over mid-wicket, and you can see that it just seems that the ball is not really coming onto the bat. So he had time, had to somewhat wait a bit, but was able to get it over mid-wicket for another 4.
Well, I think Pascal need to, his main weapon is swinging the ball away from the bat, so probably needs to pitch it up a little bit, because as I said earlier, he really doesn't have the pace of long ago.
Yeah. That's the kind of delivery he bowls. And looking at the field, he has a pretty packed offside field. You have a slip backward point cover mid-off, third man. On the leg side, you have a long leg, a backward square, mid-wicket, mid-on. So this is the line he's supposed to be bowling, as he do tend to get that ball to leave the right-handed batter.
Yes, right. For earlier, just testing the middle of the pitch, but I think he quickly realized that he needs to be a tad fuller than he was in the previous 2 deliveries. The last 2 haven't been too bad, although Matthew was able to push one into the offside and pick up a single, but that's what you would want the batsman to do.
Yeah, good confident start by St. Andrews. Yeah, 7 without loss. Teddy Bishop, the right-handed Teddy Bishop, comes into strike. Pascal, pulling up with an injury a bit last match.
He's in from a relatively slow run-up, of course, and Bishop having a throw in the bat at it, a delivery wide, the short side, the off stump. And he gets a single down to third man.
Yeah, and good positive. St Andrews players, both open batsmen seem to be very positive. They really have nothing to lose, but really to make every effort to get to that score.
Well, they're on 8, and that is what is required if they're going to win this game. So they're up with the rating from the first over and beating outside the off stump. And there is that little movement, just slight movement, not real exaggerated, but enough to just beat the bat of Matthew as he pushed at it outside the off stump. And Pascal coming back pretty well after being struck for that boundary.
Yeah, really good delivery there. Matthew was comprehensively beaten as he came forward looking to push, and that one just leaving him far from the bat. Good delivery, and it's sort of line that you want to be bowling.
Yes, indeed, and length especially because Matthew wasn't forward, not back. He really couldn't get to the pitch of the ball, and that's what you want. But steady start, 8 without loss, as I said, is what is required. That is what the type of rate that is required to go on to win the game. And I think if St Andrew though bat well, that we could well be in for a very interesting battle here.
Yes, I think then no pressure, really no pressure. They need to go there and just play positive cricket. We've seen that both batsmen seem to be positive, playing shots from even the first ball. Bishop, as we know, is that sort of dashing, exciting player. He's going to put batter ball, and he's going to prepare to face the bowling of Jackson. He's going to pick up the attack from this northern end. Jackson is bowling to one slip again, third man on the boundary. Backward point cover mid off on the offside. Mid on, mid wicket, backward square, and a deep backward square on the boundary.
So Jackson will try to continue from where Pascal has left off. Despite scoring 8 runs, it was a mixed over. I think Olia trying to just find the right areas to land on the pitch. Again, Jackson not quite getting his run right.
Yeah, and I think one of the things about the St. Davis bowlers, as you know, they have been guilty of bowling a number of wides and even no balls. So one will have to see how Jackson goes in this game, all important game.
And there's a wide one as you spoke about it. Jackson not being able to keep it within the lines. And umpire Mark just exercising himself, stretching the arms out to signal the first extra.
Yeah, that have been one of the problems with the St. Davis bowlers in terms of the extras. I think it's a team that have the most extras in the tournament. This all important game, one hope that they're going to turn it around.
And well done. I'm sure you can hear from the effects microphones. Much better delivery, much tighter delivery. Back of a length and forcing Bishop to have to push it down on the offside. Again short, and Bishop goes after it, and for a moment he didn't seem to pick it up, and not surprising he didn't hold on to it and do that on the boundary. But a catch that should have been taken, but probably as looking for the ball based on the shot Bishop have played, probably is looking for it to be going over the onside. Instead it peeled off the outer portion of the bat and went down towards third man.
Well, it's showing here that the player didn't seem to pick it up, as he seemed standing and then begin to move and just didn't get hands to it. And as was stated by Fletcher in his interview, they have to hold chances. And there was the first one, the Bishop looking to hit somewhere over a point or over cover. It flew up the edge and went down to third man. I tried to pick up who is the player that is on third man boundary there.
Again, flirting with danger outside the off stump is Bishop. And we seen Pascal just stretching the muscle, Crony, just on screen a while ago. It's interesting to see whether he's just feeling some discomfort.
Yeah, well, I expect him to. I mean, the sort of injury that he had, a little surprised that he can come and bowl here today. But let's see how long he would be able to go.
Again, Flood just going for that big booming drive outside the off stump, not to the pitch of it at all, not making that movement, not getting across to cover the line of the delivery. There was Bishop, and needless to say, didn't make contact. The ball flashing past the edge and going through to be taken by the wicket keeper. Still 9 without loss.
Yeah, better line by Jackson. And Matthew, it was trying to hit through the cover, made no contact as the ball left him. Another good line. No ball signal.
So the ever-ending problems with extras for St. David, and in a crucial match like that, you really have to ensure that you make the batsmen work for every run that is put on the board. So there will be a free hit, and of course Bishop will relish that.
Yeah, extras continue to be a plague for the St. David's bowlers, and we have just seen a catch being missed. Peters, Kimo Peters fielding on the third man fence, dropping that catch. Really was slow off the mark.
So a few changes made to the field. Of course, the batsmen cross, so they can make some changes to the free hit. And we're seeing, well, one aspect that will be going towards the offside. It looks like the field may be full outside the off stump. Short outside the off stump, in fact, and the catch should be taken. But of course, it's a free hit, and Bishop probably will feel that he probably could have done better with that. It was short, it was outside the off stump, but only managed to get it to the fielder, John, down on the deep cover boundary. But a single was had, so 12 for no loss. And we're in over number 3. So good control still though by over number 2.
No run. Yeah.
Even and John just making a hash of it and allowing it to go through the hands. And then David benefit by a single, which probably should not be had. These are the things, Crony, that sometimes adds up in the end.
Yeah, it's 13 for no wicket, 2 overs being bowled, and yeah, these are the things that we had 2 extras in that over. We had a job catch, and we also had a misfield. So certainly you want to take advantage of those opportunities when you have it. 155 is not difficult in my view. You know, the players just had to get off to a good start, and as we saw in the St. David's inning, you know, one felt at one time that they probably may not even get to 130, but 2 overs made a huge difference.
Of course, we've seen in this version of the game, a lot of damage can be done at the back end of the innings. Teams seem now to perfect the art of scoring rather heavily in the last third or the last 5 or so overs of the innings.
Pascal now bowling without a slip. This is played down to third man, Jackson, and there's one more. It's 14 without loss over number 3. So Jackson is on third man boundary. K2 is at backward point. We have cover on the boundary. John is at cover, and we also have mid off. Bishop is hitting down the ground as he give himself room, and that one, let's see, it goes just one bounce into the boundary for 4.
Very close to the ropes it landed, and we'll probably see it on the replay again, but using his feet, Bishop coming down the track and charging Pascal. And of course, he would be a bit familiar with Pascal, having played for St. David and practiced, I guess as a group together with these guys. And he's a very confident batsman too, Bishop.
Yeah, certainly he would want to. He would want to really attack St. David's bowling. I think I know he challenges those players. You know, I mean, you'll hear him in terms of his discussion off the field, how we going to deal with the bowlers, and he will take it really as a challenge. He gonna.
Well, there's my answer, Crony, to the stretches which I saw Pascal doing. He has to negate the over because probably that injury again. But I didn't mention, I did see him doing some hanging on to that muscle, that area just behind the leg, and he's just limping down towards and maybe leaving the field. So
Yeah. Well, it is surprising that he actually played, knowing the difficulty that he had, and you could see him really under a great deal of pressure. So he has he has bowled just 2 deliveries in this over, and the over has to be completed, and that looked like Keto will complete the over. The third man comes up to third man, steam point in the cover, and there the sweeper on the cover boundary, and the long off, and on the leg side, short fine leg backward square mid wicket and a mid on. So Keto is on, going to be bowling to Bishop. Bishop is on 7. Matthew is on 10. That's 18 without loss. Good positive start from St Andrews.
Keto was outside the off stump, and good shot by Bishop, just lifting that over extra cover, and the fielder from long off had no chance as the ball went quickly into the boundary for 4. So acres of space out there, and of course Keto's pace probably wouldn't challenge Bishop at all, and he picked his spot and picked it well.
Yeah, good shot. Just give himself some room and hit over that extra cover which is vacant, and that ball went down to the boundary for 4. He moves to 11. It's 22. Good positive batting.
Gain driven by Bishop, opening the face of the bat, and this time on the other side of the fielder down on the deep extra cover boundary. And again, lovely timing, lovely bit of batting, just opening the face of the bat to get it past the man. And 4 runs again, beautiful, good looking runs.
And that's a superb shot. Really was over pitch, and he gave it a full treatment, and he hit it sweetly as it raced across that square cover boundary, and it went down to the boundary for 4. And that's the difference. You see that with Bishop, the foot comes out and he reaches to the delivery. What you find happening with the other batsmen, they seem to pull away and use brute force, brute strength.
Again, lovely shot, but this time wouldn't get 4 as it went past the right hand of Andre Fletcher and picks up a single. So very good over for St Andrew.
Yeah, and very good batting. So very good batting by Bishop. The left foot comes out and it really strokes that ball smoothly through the covers and pick up another single. As I was saying, Justin, maybe we could have that discussion a little, maybe after the over. But yeah, good confident start by St Andrews as Keto completing wide up the off stump, and that'll be wide signal. Yeah, the difference in terms of the stroke play. You look at St David's bat, and most of the players tend to pull away. You see Andrew Fletcher, you see Ryan John, even Keto pull away and look for brute force. Keto, Bishop now, he'd come with put his foot to the ball and use a lot of timing.
I think it's about batsmen wanting to play proper cricket shots, and again those who want to just beat the cover of the ball. But at the end of the 28 for no loss, it's the end of 3. Matthew is on 10. Teddy Bishop has gone past him, he's on 16. And certainly this is what they want. They're scoring at a rate of 9.5 runs per over, and certainly they would want to continue at that rate and ensure that they lay the type of foundation for the rest of the batsmen coming forward. As Kerry has slipped back in, and of course the beautiful sight of the Dabo Hill, the house is just spattered over the hills, and there is no better sight of that Dabo Hills looking, especially if you're on the opposite side of the ground and looking towards the northern side. That's where we're looking at, and certainly beautiful sight. Dabo, of course, and delivery, full toss and wide down the leg side. So St David continuing to struggle as it relates to extras, and I don't think they can afford to continue to give away so many extras in tight games like this. I'll say welcome back, Kerry.
Yeah, St David's has been an ill-disciplined start so far. Just conceded 3 extras, have not been able to attack the wicket as you know they'd have liked. Teddy Bishop very positive in approach. 3 boundaries, 1 to Anil Matthew, and St Andrew certainly looking to wrestle the early initiative here from St David's. That one
wrapped on the pad and going down the leg side. I think one could have clearly seen probably the off stump and the middle stump, which would have indicated that the ball may have just been slanting down the leg side. So the umpires continue to be generally good throughout the tournament, which is really good. And of course, the pitch has almost been taken out of the equation as a possible concern because of how well it has played during the tournament so far.
Yeah, I think one of the hallmarks of the tournament was the wicket. You know, last few games may not have come on as it would have in the earlier matches, but it's certainly been a good wicket for cricket here in this tournament. And kudos to the ground staff. The head groundsman here at the National Stadium, Kevin Hollas, and his team for an excellent job. Also with the outfield, we know it's in the middle of the dry season and it can be difficult, you know, in keeping it in a sort of pristine condition, and they have certainly tried to produce quality wicket and outfield for this tournament to be played in.
Well, second no ball for the morning, and it will be another free hit. The first one, Teddy Bishop didn't do much with it. We'll see what Matthew will do with this one. So 4 extras so far. So St. David continuing to struggle as it relates to extra. And certainly the pitches that are used basically are and have been used for a while with the Volcanoes training. They'll play a bit on it, practice a bit on it, but it has really been excellent in terms of the way it has played. It has offered tremendous assistance for both the spinners and the faster bowlers. And one way to see how probably a bowler like Joseph will go on this.
Yes, yeah, you know, Blacks certainly rushed the batsman from St George's in the last encounter, and he'll be relishing his opportunity to be given the ball today.
Again, this time Matthew going for a big hit down the was down the outside. That was pretty close at the stroke.
I think if he had hit, he would have been out. You could have seen the disappointment on the face there of and in the actions of Kato in the mid-on position. But Teddy Bishop, he lives to fight another day.
So opening up Matthew. Kato came in very quickly and got it nicely into the hands. And if he had hit, he would have been out. Sure, he would have been out.
Yeah, I think that free hit delivery, I think Anil Matthew probably was looking to hit it more towards mid-wicket. Probably would have been a better advice to look to hit it more straighter down the ground.
Straight down the ground. This time can't be the fielder at backward point. Delivery short outside the off stump. Once again, we've seen Pascal having to leave the field, injured again. And it's a blow for the St. David team.
No, well, you say injured again. Was he ever recovered from the previous injury again? Injured again would mean that he would have recovered and he got a fresh injury, but I think it was just an aggravation of the prior injury, which was not fully. And a fortunate delivery there from that is Jackson, a full toss on the line of the leg stump. Anil Matthew not able to get out of the way, and to compound his misery, the ball hit him on a very fleshy area on the thigh, and you can see he's in a bit of a discomfort.
Well, lucky Jackson too. This one was just on the border between and what would have been a no ball, and lucky to have gotten away with it one way or the other. And Jackson really Matthew didn't take advantage of the full delivery, which is almost very difficult. That full toss is almost anguish carry when you hear the call of no ball.
Yeah, it's the third one. It's the third one from Jackson inside of 2 overs, and he's certainly struggling with his run up as we see he remarks it again. And a free hit coming up to St. Andrew. It's the third one for the inning in just 3.4 overs, and St. David's will not be so far it has not really they've not been able to capitalize on it. St. Andrew, I think the first one was caught by Ryan John on the cover boundary. The second one was played to Kato for no run. So St. Andrew hoping that the third one can be they can get more from it, but Jackson certainly being ill-disciplined with his bowling to date.
I think it must have been something they would have spoken about as Jackson comes into a short delivery. And this one probably will be signaled the one for the over, just going over, probably just under the shoulder of the batsman.
Yeah, it's not signaled now by the umpires.
Yes.
One for the over, and I think that was not something that was probably done last game because Joseph you'd have bowled quite a few short deliveries, some of them as much as 4 in an over, and I don't think much of them would have been signaled as being one for the over. So I think the umpires are a bit more
on the ball
today.
So Jackson shot again and giving it treatment, really tucked away over mid wicket and away to the boundary. That's for 6 by Bishop. We got away with the first one, the free hit, and again looking probably to repeat. This time probably a delivery not as high, and Bishop was able to get onto it and hit it away for 6. So
yeah, I think the last game too, the wicket was probably a bit more firmer, and the ball was really coming off, skidding off the wicket a bit. This time the ball just short delivery, just sat up there for Bishop, and using all his skills and talent was able to hit that one over the square leg boundary for 6. So he moves on to 23, and it's a very positive start for St Andrew. They're going at just 9.75 and over inside 4 overs, in the first 4 overs.
And it must be something that has to be viewed with concern by St David, the rate at which they're scoring. And certainly, I was about to comment, Kerry, that there would have been some thought about the extras. After the game last week, I did have a chat with Imran Joseph, and he was quite aware of it, and he was quite alarmed, and and talking about the need to limit the extras during the course of the game.
Yeah, extras has been one of those concerns for St David's, in particular in the tournament. And as we see a change of bowling from the southern end, the captain has turned to Ryan John, who will take up the action from the southern end. He picked up 1 for 9 in his 2 overs in the match against St George's. So we'll be the captain will be banking on him to sort of pull back the run rate, and as we know, the best way to do that, Hector, is by picking up wickets.
Yes, indeed, and a good start by him, one which just tucked Matthew up a bit, and could do no more than to play it off on the onside.
As the action, St Andrew requires 7.39 from here on out. Still a very good batting lineup. They have very good batting lineup, especially in the middle. You have next is the Windward Volcanoes all around the Kavim Hodge. Also in the hot Aki Mogis, the young under 19 talent from St Lucia. That one guided down to the Jackson, who comes off the third man boundary to do the fielding. And you have the McDonald brothers, and knowing those batsmen in the hut, it's batsmen who really like to go after the bowling. Hodge can be a bit, Hodge and Ogis, they have that middle game to, walk the ball, pick up the 1s and 2s to the gaps. And the McDonald's, more of the explosive type batsmen who can really up the ante. So with that good start so far, the foundation is laid for, sensible cricket. And once they can keep their calms about them, they should be able to pose a challenge to this total.
Well, with shots like that, I think St Andrew we could at this stage probably say, if that continues for any length of time, I think they should really go a long way towards achieving that total. And Bishop is looking in top form, really timing the ball well, hitting it sweetly, and not only that, but finding the gaps left and right of fieldsmen quite easily. Fletcher would have been a spectator for a while so far this morning, watching balls flash past his left and his right.
Yeah, Kato and Fletcher in the cover point and the backward point, and that ball was hit between both of them, and both of them, all they could have done was just Kato go to the boundary and retrieve the delivery. Such a good shot there from young Teddy Bishop, and Teddy Bishop would have played a lot of cricket, on the 15s, on the 19s for St David's. Now he's playing for St Andrews, and this one guides over the cordon and into the boundary for 6. Certainly a top shot from young Teddy Bishop, and relishing the opportunity of coming up against a Parish whom he would have played a lot of cricket for, and he certainly has them on the ropes here at the National Stadium as the 50 partnership and the 50 total is raised. St Andrews, they're 50 without loss in over number 5. Teddy Bishop is on 34, and with him is Anil Matthew on 12.
Yes, and the beautiful uppercut and almost lifting himself up off the ground for leverage, and got it well. The umpire, though signaling 4, initially had to change his decision and signal 6. and that's what it was. So excellent start, 50 for no loss. And I think St. David would have, in the fifth over, in over number 5, they would have dreamed of picking up probably 1 or 2 wickets at this stage and to just peg St. Andrew back. But one thing we could say, Terry, though, is that St. Andrew, though they had, I think, a slowish start, they have certainly come on.
Yeah, St. Andrews, they have responded quite positively to this chase. Bishop, 33 of 14, going at a strike rate of 220, 4 fours and 2 sixes. And, you know, he's going so fast, Hector, but at the same time, it's proper cricket shots, no slog and no swipes, but really playing the ball on its merit. The first one, boundary in this over, short ball outside the off stump, he caught on top of it and powered it through the offside. The second one, shorter in length, he was able to open the face of the bat and guide it over third man. So sensible and intelligent batting from Teddy Bishop has his team 50 without loss in over number 5.
Yes, and it's going on to almost 10.5. And she gets on top of and just glides down towards third man. Of course, smart cricket. It was a reasonably good delivery, back of a length and lifting towards the shoulder, and still able to capitalize on that, just opening the face of the bat and steering it down towards third man for a single. Single which takes Bishop now to 34 and 12 to Matthew. 51 for no loss.
Yeah, it's a very good partnership so far between the St. Andrew PA. Bishop and Anil Matthew putting on 50 for the first wicket, and certainly laying the foundation for the chase ahead of them. As we see, it's going to be a change in the bowling. St. David's their most successful bowler in the tournament to date, Imran George, who has picked up 10 wickets from the round robin phase of the tournament, 10 wickets from 5 matches. And he has bowled at quite economical rate also, just going over 3.5 runs and over 4.5 runs and over, my apologies. So he would be looking to make the breakthrough for his team, St. David's, and they're certainly up against it here early on. Emmanuel Stewart, 51 without loss.
Yeah, it's been a really good start from the St. David's team. You know, I thought that there was a decent total on the board from St. David's. Sorry, decent start from the St. Andrews team. Thought there was a decent total by the St. David's team. You know, they came back into the game, especially with that over that Kato took most of the runs in, and it was a good total. So the runs is on the board, and it's an interesting it'll be an interesting chase here from St. Andrews, and they're off to a good start so far.
Yeah, Emmanuel. Also, young Bishop looking quite splendid so far in his short stay at the crease. 16 balls, 34 runs, 4 fours and 2 sixes. Certainly seem to have been timing it quite well so far.
Yeah, very good start from Teddy Bishop. He's a class young player.
As we see Imran Joseph, a short rising delivery, which Bishop is able to get over and guide it behind point where Gerard Noel does the fielding. So Emmanuel, a situation where they're going at 10 runs and over, going after 155. It's a situation now of what? Is it looking to continue in that vein, or probably just looking to rotate the strike, pick up 1 and 2s?
I think it's a good momentum that they have. It's just a matter of playing the ball wherever it is and capitalizing on the bad balls and continue to rotate strike.
And delivery again, short in length from Joseph, and played down to the third man, where Kimo Peters does the fielding. And normally for most bowlers, their good length delivery would be just as what we'd consider short of a length, but the delivery short from Joseph seems to be stock delivery so far, especially in the last 2 matches.
Yeah, we've seen that. I guess players struggle a bit to play the sharp ball, and is continuing that ploy here today. So let's see. It's a different wicket today. It's probably a bit better to play through the line.
This time Bishop opens up himself and hits over the offside. He hits well over the covers region into the boundary for 4. So Teddy Bishop, he has his former parish St. David's on the ropes here at the National Stadium, 57 without loss, and we're in the middle of over number 6.
Yeah, I think Joseph got a bit predictable there. His first few balls were short and into the wicket, and even from the last game. So I guess Teddy was able to premeditate that shot and get it over the offside field and into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, St Andrews, Teddy Bishop's among the runs. He was most of the match for a long way in the tournament. He was the leading run scorer. As we see that one spread down the leg side there. So another extra conceded by St David's. Extras count moves to 6 and the total moves to 58 without loss. And Teddy Bishop with 39 today would probably have just edged back on top of the table ahead of Keon George and Johan Jeremiah. And it's certainly good to see Emmanuel, to see the younger batsmen in the tournament have come to the party and have performed quite well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's a good exposure for the younger players, and it's good to see that they're maximizing on the opportunity during this tournament. I think it's good to see.
Again, another short delivery rush in Teddy Bishop. Signal one over the shoulder there by the umpire, probably over the head of the batsman. And as we see the replay, good delivery, just maybe under the helmet there as it passed the batsman.
Yeah, decent pace there. I think Blacks would have to, Joseph here would have to vary his length and line and even the pace. Some slow balls here will be important, rather than being too predictable with the short ball.
Yeah, well said. When you come up against more quality batsmen, they tend to work you out quite early. And so far, Joseph, another short one, and this time played well by Bishop, hit over the backward point position, and certainly a shot of statement there made by Teddy Bishop. You can continue to play short, but I'll take you on. 6 more to Bishop, he moves to 45, and St Andrew is 64 without loss.
Yeah, definitely, again, another short delivery, and Teddy capitalizing on that. So I think Joseph has been a bit too predictable here. I guess slow ball is important, especially in the power plays and what's not. It's good to vary your pace and your lines and your length, so it can't be too predictable, and he's paying the price for that.
Yeah, as we see a conference going on now between Keon George, Shondell Regis and Imran Joseph, looking to see how they can respond. But at the moment, St Andrew, they're like a racehorse which has bottled out of the stables, and they are 64 without loss, and we're still inside the power play.
Attempted slow ball there. Gets away with that because it was a full toss.
Would you say it was the first slower ball you would have bowled within the last 2 matches?
Well, I haven't seen his last couple of games, but
no, like the last game and today, certainly against St George's, it was hostile, short of a length bowling throughout, and today you can see he's looking to try something different.
Yeah, well, he got to. He's under pressure, so you can't keep doing the same things. You're gonna keep getting the same results. So he's a bit under pressure. He's had to go to the slow ball there, and I think he got away with that because it was a full pitch ball.
Yeah, as we're going to see, it's going to be Ryan John to continue from the southern end, and Emmanuel 6 overs bowled. Prop captain probably thinking at this stage maybe of seeing how one of the spinners might be able to get off the wicket. He can break that partnership.
Yeah, most definitely. I think spin would probably be a good option right now. But again, if you look at the St. David's attack, it seemed to be packed with a lot of seamers, a lot of pacers, and a limited spin options. You have Gerard Noel there as an option. But if you look around,
well, Andre Spiceman Fletcher regards himself highly as a leg spinning all-rounder. He would tell you he's a batting all-rounder who bowls quite a steady leg spin. You would have played with him at the Windwards Volcanoes. You would rate him so high, his leg spin bowling so highly?
Yes, I would. I guess if he looks back at this commentary and heard me saying that, St. David's only had one spinner, he's probably want to take off my head for that.
Certainly, Spiceman Fletcher would be one of the options, but you also have the Gerard Noel. Shondell Regis does a bit of spin, slow bowling also, but not really one of those frontline bowlers. But as you said, it's an attack that is heavy on pace, and with Neilon Pascal pulling up injured in his second over means that the burden will fall on the other bowlers to pick up the slack.
That's another length ball there from Ryan, tucking up the batsman there. I think anything with arms, anything with width, any delivery with width is easier to hit. It seems on this wicket, so again it's important to stay between the stumps as Ryan did there.
Yeah, as Emmanuel will get ready. He'll be playing in the second match in semi-final number 2, coming up against St. Patrick's. The guys, are they ready for that big matchup this afternoon?
Yes, definitely. We had some momentum coming into this semi-final 2 game, and had some plans put in place during the week. So it's just a matter of executing today.
Yeah, St Andrews, they're on top here in the early stage of their response against St David, as we see one guided down there to third man.
Slow ball there from Ryan. So
yeah, Ryan is one of those certainly who uses his variations quite well. He can bowl that fast on, but he really compared to Imran Joseph, he doesn't seem to bank on it all the time. Uses a lot of variation, and he's been quite successful in local cricket as a result.
Yeah, I think he's a very good bowler. He's a bowler that can bowl at any phase in the innings, at the start, the middle, and the end. So his bag of tricks would be important here.
Teddy Bishop with one just short of a length at which he plays back down the wicket. Putting yourself in the mind of Teddy Bishop, he'd have played most of his cricket or all of his cricket before this tournament for St David's. Coming up now again representing St Andrews, his home parish, and playing against St David's, he would have played for quite a number of years. What do you think are the thoughts running through his mind, especially in a matchup like this?
I don't think he got any time to think about that. It's just a matter of reacting to the ball.
Slower delivery. Full toss not executed well by John, but that is Jackson down there on the cover boundary does the fielding. So one more run to Bishop. He moves to 46 and St Andrews 66 without loss.
Yeah, as I was saying, Teddy, I don't think much will be going through his mind in terms of who he played for before and who he's playing for now. Just a matter of reacting to the ball and looking to complete a job here for his team, and hopefully he can take his team into the final tomorrow.
Yeah, finals tomorrow, and third place finals will be at 1:30. The third place playoff is at 9:30. So both teams will be looking to play that afternoon game, which is the one for championship honors. Pulled down to fine leg. Excellent catch there by Imran Joseph. Moving around to his left, and Anil Machu would be disappointed. A short ball guided to Imran Joseph, who took a very good catch.
Much relief here to the St. David's team, getting that early wicket. As you see, another length ball from Ryan, tucking the batsman up, and you only get the ball down to the fine leg fielder, and good catch taken there by Imran Joseph to complete the first wicket for St. David's.
Yeah, as we see the new batsman saw the back of Matthew, but brings to the crease Calvin Hodge, the all-rounder from Dominica, Winwood Volcano player who is representing St. Andrews this tournament, and Emmanuel certainly Hodge, a quality batsman, and the batsman probably St. Andrews will quite happy to have at the crease at the moment.
Yeah, most definitely. I think he's a very good cricketer on a whole. He thinks the game. He's a very good left arm spinner, very good batter. So he's a man for this crisis here. Right now, first wicket down, and once he gets himself set, he can bat as deep as possible and look to take his team over the line.
Yeah, the score now 66 for 1 in 7. That means just 90 runs to get in 79 deliveries. So it's a very manageable. St. Andrews have been able to keep themselves in the game, scoring at 9.66, requires 6.84, and will be happy with the proceedings despite losing a wicket. But it's now up to St. David's to see if they can pick up further wickets, because the T20 cricket can change very quickly. 1 or 2 wickets from 75 for 3 is certainly a different proposition before St. Andrew.
Yeah, one couple wickets and a decent over to the batting team can change the game either way.
And did he drop that one? Came off the edge. The question is whether he dropped short or it was spilled there by Samuel Charles. The end of the over, and a big smile there from Charles as we see the replay now. And just drop shot there. Do you think, Manuel?
Yeah, it probably didn't carry there. Based on the replays, it didn't carry.
Yeah, so St. David's, they will be encouraged by what they have seen so far. As we see another shot at the replay. Maybe come off the gloves of the batsman, and definitely drop shot before it got reached the wicket keeper Samuel Charles. So very good over there from Ryan John. Two runs and a wicket.
Yes, definitely. I guess because it came off the glove, he took some pace off it, so that's why he dropped shot.
Yeah, Hodge, the ball certainly coming back into the batsman there from Ryan John. Cramped Hodge a bit, was probably looking to get some bat onto it and guide it down to third man, but was able to come off the gloves and into the drop shot before it reached Samuel Charles. Not over from Imran Joseph. Imran Joseph being dealt severely in the last over by Teddy Bishop, an over which conceded 13 runs. We wait to see what his response would be, as the field suggests that it's going to be more short of a length bowling, as fine leg goes back, deep backward square, a fielder back on the cover boundary, third man is back, so certainly we anticipate some short length bowling. Played behind down to long leg. The fielding is done there by the substitute fielder.
Yes, based on the field set, it's more back of a length bowling, and I think mid off is up in this circle, so any half volley or any full ball can be dealt with and hit over that mid off fielder. So it's important for him to stay between those sticks and bowl the ball into the wicket to force the batter to hit on the side where he got the protection.
Yeah, Kevin Hodge bowling. What do you think should be the line of attack to Hodge?
I think it's a very strong cutter and pull off the ball, so it's important to stay just on a good length between the stumps again, giving him no arms.
And this time comes off, looks to play that shot down to fine leg, and we wait for the signal from the umpire. Samuel Charles, it was diving, and it seems it was a run, so probably Samuel Charles might be harsh to say it was a drop catch, because he made a lot of ground to get around to it. Yeah, it looked like he came off the bat and just eluded the diving effort there of Samuel Charles. Emmanuel Stewart, yourself a wicket keeper, you would say it was a tough chance there from the keeper.
Yeah, it's a difficult chance to get around there. Did well, cover a lot of ground.
As we see, it has gotten a little darker in the last few minutes. Some thick clouds passing to the southern end of the ground. We don't think there's going to be any immediate threat for rain. We hope not, because the match is certainly nicely poised here. Would not want any interruption as Bishop plays it to mid-wicket where Ryan John does the fielding. Quite a good fielder. Big guy, Ryan John, but he's very good in the outfield.
Yes, definitely. He's a good cricketer, good all-round cricketer. Good with the bat, good with the ball, and even better in the field. We see there's a change of length here from Joseph. His change of length and line is a bit straighter now. And the length is just a tad fuller, forcing Teddy to get onto the front foot rather than, sitting back. So I guess Teddy will look to give himself some room and try to hit over mid-off.
And that time Teddy Bishop goes back and gets off the outside edge down to third man for a single. So he moves on by 1 to 48. And St. Andrew now 69 for 1 in over number 8.
It's a very good start from St. Andrews here.
Yeah, but Joseph looking to probably contain his aggression a bit. He wasn't happy after the first over the way he was dealt with by Bishop, and looking to maybe just keep it a bit tidier, as looking to cram the batsmen for room instead of offering them the width which he served up the last over. Some alterations is made in the field. The square fielders, they have been back on the onside. He's being brought a bit straighter.
You see, most captains would have probably pulled Joseph after his first over, going for 13. But yes, George showing faith in his bowler here. I guess because he's allowed more fielders outside, giving that protection. So he responded well.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that Joseph is a wicket taker. He picks up wickets, so he can be going through what we consider a bad spell, but he always has that knack of picking up wickets, which is what St. David certainly need at this stage. And very good shot there from Teddy Bishop, just lifted, as you'd have said earlier on in the over. With that field, he cannot afford to bowl the ball full or at the half volley length, and Bishop lift that one over the fielder at extra cover. One bounce into the boundary down there, more at long off, and Fletcher has to go back to do the fielding. So 50 up for Teddy Bishop. He's on 52 of 27 balls, 6 fours and 3 sixes, and he has certainly set the platform for St. Andrew to chase haul down St. David's 155.
I call it early in the over that he's going to look to give himself room and go over mid-off. I think Joseph tried a slow ball again, but the length was crucial. It was a bit on the fuller side, and the wicket seems to be a good one. Teddy hit to the line and brings up his half century. A well compiled innings, well paced innings. And I think, best players around the world, best players in the game, will look to go all the way and get that red tick and come out not out and finish the game for the team. So you still have a job to do here. I think Hodge would be a great fall for him, rotating the strike and giving him most of the balls while he gets himself in himself.
Yeah, as we see spin for the first time in the inning, it's going to be Geron Noel, who comes on from the southern end of the ground. Noel has picked up 7 wickets to date in the tournament. He would have picked up 3 wickets last match against St. George's, 3 for 8 of his in his spell. 7 wickets at just going at 4.6 runs and over. Has been able to keep it tight and pick up the wickets for his captain. So he has been quite well for St. David so far. But now coming in at 74 for 1. St. Andrew require another 82 from 12 overs. He will be required much more than to keep it tight, but also to see if he can snare a wicket or 2.
Dots tend to build pressure and that tend to lead to wickets. So.
Oh, that time Hodge comes into the crease, tucks it behind square on the onside. One very good, well played by Hodge. He's able to come back for 2, and I think Hodge is certainly, as you said, is a batsman St. Andrews would most like to have in the middle at this moment, because he's not phased by any stage of the game. He can play his natural game, which is to walk the ball around for 1s and 2s, and when needed he can really open up himself and score big, so go for those boundaries. So St. Andrews with Hodge in the middle will be hoping that he can stay almost close to the end.
Yeah, he's a great forward for Teddy. It's a very good forward for Teddy as he gets himself in here.
And that one, he comes inside the line, plays it behind square. That time Keon George places himself on the 45. He can beat him and there is no run, so they're able to pick up a dot ball. St. David's looking to see if they can string a few together. Yeah, Gerard Noel running around to do the fielding there. Seems to be favoring his leg a bit as he chased the ball. One more run to Hodge, 77 for 1. Emmanuel, now you guys, Volcanoes, they're here. They're in Grenada, based in Grenada, the franchise based in Grenada. Your guys just came back from the Super 50 in Antigua. We're hearing talk about maybe the 4-day tournament may not 4-day championship may not happen earlier on this year. What has been the guys going through in the last week as they continue their preparations?
Just a minute. Let's see. Noel comes into Bishop, hits on the ground for 1. Good strike rotation here by these 2. I think for us, we had a week in quarantine. I think a lot of players use that time to reflect on the tournament. I personally did. I think we have areas that we want to improve on as players, as always. As you see, Hodge hit that one through the offside, and
very good shot there from Hodge. Beat Jackson. He put in the big dive there, but he's not able to stop that one into the boundary for 4. So the runs, they keep coming at a very good clip for St. Andrew. The over already cut 8 runs off the over with 1 ball to go and 82 for 1 in over number 9.
Yeah, full pitch delivery there from Noel and dealt with.
Hodge got inside the line and played that one down to the onside, so for a single. So Hodge, he's on 10. Bishop is 53, and after 9 overs, St. Andrew going after 156 of victory, they're 83 for 1.
Yeah, I think Noel is struggling a bit here with some leg injury. A bit indifferent over. He was either too short or too full. As I was saying, yeah. So I think since the tournament now we've been back here and been training, at least 3 days a week. Some players, putting in more work. But it's a bit difficult with the uncertainty around the tournament, but I think we still have to do what we have to do as professionals and as players that are looking to go on into the West, looking to breaking into West Indies team. So the work has to go on, and I think regardless of if the tournament comes off or not, we still need to put in the work.
Yeah, as we see, it's going to be the Spiceman, Andre Spiceman Fletcher. He's going to be he's coming in from the northern end of the ground. He's going to be offering up his leg spin, looking to see if he can snare a wicket for his team. Hodge on strike. A bit of fumble there from the fielder in the backward point position as the batsman, they cross over for 1.
Yeah, a bit short there to start with from the Spiceman. Misfield there at backward point.
Very good delivery there from Fletcher, tossed up a bit and had Bishop coming forward, and also bowled at a very good pace. Was not fast as sometimes our bowlers tend to bowl a bit fast, but certainly good looping delivery there from Fletcher, drawing the batsman forward.
It's through the offside by Bishop, pushing for 2 and completes it. I think it's a very important phase of the game here. It will be interesting to see how these two batters play the bowling of Andre Fletcher. I know he likes to get in the batsman's head, and he's a very, very good leg spinner and batter, so it's important.
Terry Bishop advances down the crease. I think Fletcher saw him coming and threw it a bit wider. Not able to hit that cleanly. Just got an edge onto it. Luckily for him, he was able to get some edge onto it and play it onto the offside. As Samuel Charles, he was waiting for it to pounce to remove the bails.
As you see Fletcher looking to rush through the over. That's another ploy that you can use to make the batsman feel a bit rushed and not give him much time to think. It's a smart cricketer.
Yeah, as Hodge comes back and cuts down to the field on the cover boundary for a single. That Shondell reaches, who does the fielding. So one more run to Hodge to end the over. He's on 12. Bishop is 56, and at the midway stage of the innings, St Andrew going after 156. They're 88 for 1.
Yeah, very good start again. Very good start, and it's a middle period now when spinners will be coming into the game, and the game plan should be simple. Rotate. Ball comes, you put it away. You don't have to try to manufacture anything. You have a batter on 50 yard, and Hodge is getting set. So it's important for the batters to, if they can go all the way and complete and finish the game for the team, that would be excellent. But it's important for one of these batters to bat all the way through the innings and get that victory for St Andrews.
Yeah, St Andrews looking to book their spot in the final of the NLA GPL T20 6-team tournament, and we're down to the semi-final stage as Jaron Noel to begin his second over. Hodge plays it firmly there to Ryan John in the mid-wicket position, and the 4 fielders inside the circle, 4 very experienced St David's cricketers, as Hodge lifts that over mid-wicket. Coming off the boundary is Peters, who does the fielding. So when you look in the inner circle, you have Andre Fletcher, backward point, Roland Cato in extra cover, Ryan John in mid-wicket, and Keon George in short fine leg.
Lucinda comes into Bishop. Short delivery outside the off, some cuts behind point, and the sweeper got no chance. Cut away for 4 from Bishop. Very good shot there.
Yeah, Jaron Noel guilty a bit, bowling that one a bit flatter and rushing, shorter and faster, and Bishop just was able to lean back and guide it into the gap, and good shot there from Bishop. 4 more runs to him. He moves to 60, and St Andrew, they're currently 93 for 1, making a positive start to this chase.
Yes, very much so. I think from the first over that Noel ball, he seems to change his pace a bit, looking to bowl into the wicket now and a bit faster, not trying to spin the ball. If you can look at how the seam is, he's coming on.
That time Teddy Bishop comes inside the wicket to hit onto the onside. Gotten a leading edge, or gotten an edge onto it. There is no more runs as we proceed further into over number 11. Play to short fine leg where Keon George does the fielding. No runs. So Emmanuel, you would have watched the game there. Think you would have the wicket. You agree might be probably a bit on the slower side as it was the last match.
I think this wicket is playing better than the last wicket that they used last week. I spoke to the groundsman during the week, and he said that he's going to try to leave a bit more grass on this surface here, and it seems to be playing really true. I saw that they worked hard on the wicket during the week, so credit to the groundsman, and the outfield looks even better. So good stuff, and it's very good for cricketers. Those are stuff that we look forward to. Good wickets and fast outfield. So
yeah, as you're a batsman. Cricket tends to favor batsmen a bit. When you have wickets like these, both bowlers and batsmen can get something out of it, or what we would call a cricket-friendly wicket. It certainly lifts the morale of the players in the 11 on the match.
Yeah, that's true. I think most T20 tournaments now around the world, if you look at the IPL, a lot of the wickets favors the batters, and the boundaries are so small, so you tend to have a lot of high scoring games. And I think for the bowlers, it's important for them to stick to the areas because the margin for error is very, very small. As you see, Fletch comes in, tossed up into the legs of Bishop, hits on the onside, and cleans up, back to Fletch.
Andrew Spiceman Fletcher, representing his home parish, St. David's, been a good servant for St. David's cricket for a number of years, came through the ranks at the under 15s, where he has discovered, played on the 19s, representing St. David's, played senior cricket, would have also been part of a number of squad, as that one cut behind, down to the cover fielder, where Shondell Regis does the fielding. So 2 more runs to Hodge. He has moved on to 15 and 97 for 1.
Excellent running.
Yeah, very good running. As Fletcher, Emmanuel, as I was saying, it's certainly good for the players, the other players who not have reached the level of yourself and Andrew Fletcher and the others, to be able to play in a local tournament and be able to be teammates with such players who have achieved such a great deal in their cricketing lives.
Yes, it's very good. I think even for myself, I'm very close to to Fletch, and he's obviously played for the West Indies senior team, and that's something that I'm aspiring to do as well. So it's good for the youngsters to be exposed to players as Andre and Kavem Hodge. So it's good for the tournament, and hopefully this can continue going forward in the near future.
Yeah, and I think one of the things too, Andre, he's always there to offer a word of advice to the younger players, because I know after the last match against St. David's, St. David's versus St. George's, he was you can see him on the boundary ropes offering a few advice to the St. George's batsmen, and it's certainly that positive that he can lend some of his experience to the younger players, as we hope, as you said, we can have much more Grenadians elevating to playing cricket at the highest level.
Yeah, you can say a good player and an even better person. Life after cricket is you're always a person. You're always going to be a person. So cricket is just what you do, but how you interact with people, how you treat people is most important, and Andre shows that.
Yes, that one play to thing there. As the return comes in, not a very good one there from Jaron Noel. Teddy Bishop, he was campering through for the single, sent back by Hodge, and a bit of miscommunication there between the 2 batsmen from St. Andrews.
Yeah, I think Hodge lost the ball for a minute. If you look at him, he put his head up. He didn't know where the ball was, and as you can hear the Spiceman, shouting and urging the guys to stay in it. Because cricket is not over until the last ball is bowled. So it's important for them to carry the game as deep as possible, build dots, and look to take wickets in the process.
Yes, the St. David's certainly looking for answers to the proposition here from St. Andrew. They have been quite solid in the chase of 156, currently 99 for 1 in over number 12. That means that they require 57 from just 8 overs. 57 from 48 deliveries with 9 wickets in hand. At this stage, it's certainly advantage to St. Andrew.
Yeah, that one hit on the ground there by Bishop, and you can see Hodge's game plan is simple. Gets the ball into the outfield and run that first one hard, looking for an opportunity to turn that one into 2. So
yeah, as we see, the 100 comes up of 18 minutes in just an hour. 9 fours and 3 sixes. The bulk of the scoring to date is done by Teddy Bishop, who is on 64, which is actually the second highest total to date of the tournament. He's had the highest total of 79 in the first match against St. John, and he's able to register his second 50 of the tournament.
Hits into the onside again by Hodge and pushes for the second run, completes it easy.
Yeah, 2 more runs to the total, and 102 for 1. And Emmanuel, oftentimes players can get a big score, but it's always about consistency when you play in these tournaments, to be able to follow up good scores with good scores throughout.
That's true. If you look at the best players around the world, they are consistent, and I think it's just down to knowing your process, knowing what you did last game, and learning from every innings that you play.
Yes, as Noel to the third over, played down to the fielder at long on, and they come through for a single. And quite intelligent batting. The boundaries are certainly dried up, but they've been able to keep the runs flowing, picking up ones and twos, running very well between the wicket between the two, the Dominican and Grenadian PF for St Andrew.
Yes, definitely. Hodge is striking at 100 and he's only hit one boundary, so that says a lot.
Yeah, and we know coming in at the platform there, Noel not able to feel cleanly of his bowling, results in a single. And he came in a situation where he was not required to go at 150, score at a rate of 150, and so far he has played quite intelligently, as that one is played down to the cover boundary. So I know, Emmanuel, you have to go get ready for your semi-final matchup. So thank you for joining us, and want to wish you and St. George's all the best in the second semi-final today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, so that was Emmanuel Stewart, the Windward's Volcano wicketkeeper batsman, gracing us with his presence and lending his experience and expertise to the commentary for this match. And he leaves us as he gets ready to prepare for the second semi-final today. St. David's versus St. George Crony. Not St. David's, but St. Patrick's versus St. George. Certainly, it's shaping up to be an interesting encounter between those two parishes.
Yeah, we certainly expect it to be another competitive one. The likes of Devon Smith, and we have people like Alterners, and then we have the players from St. George's. I include Emmanuel Stewart, so we expect it to be a very competitive one.
Yeah, Alec Athanes, Devon Smith, Dennis Smith, Dennis George, some of the big names from St. Andrew, as that one is played well by Kavim Hodge behind square on the onside, a fielder in short fine leg. That's Jerron Noel. He is just a spectator as the ball races into the boundary for 4. So St. Andrew, they motor on. They're 109 for 1 in over number 14.
Yeah, very polished performance by St. Andrews. I think that they really batted well. I don't think St. David's, the bowlers bowl as well as they could, but certainly I think from the time they went into bat, there was this attacking nature from both opening batsmen, and that carried right through. We really took it to St. David's and played very well.
Yeah, Teddy Bishop, he was a man on a mission from ball 1, and they were attacking from the first over, and really they were able to put pressure on the St. David's, and they were not able to respond at all to that pressure inflicted by the St. Andrew batsmen, as they now 110 for 1, require 46 of just 33 deliveries, and certainly on top here at the National Stadium.
Yeah, I think they came out to really with a positive frame of mind, and really St. David seemed to have no answer, as Jackson started with the usual wides and no balls, and really the advantage. Well, Teddy Bishop was put down very early in third man, and I think after that he just took charge.
Yeah, it was a difficult catch down there, but the fielder should have responded better. And as you say, Crony, in this in cricket, any version of cricket, catches win matches.
Bowler. Don't slip on me, Teddy.
Yeah, and both batsmen doing it very easily.
As you can see, some ill discipline creeping in there. Wayward throw and return from the cover boundary, and it's 2 more runs to Hodge. He's on 27. Bishop is 66, and after 14 overs, St. Andrew 113 for 1.
Yeah, St. Andrews in full command this game. They really have approaches this task, very disciplined. I think both batsmen were very positive, and Matthew also, who opened the batting, were very positive. And the start at 66, I think, was really the sort of start they were looking for in an endeavor to get to the 155.
Yes, we see the St. George's team. They are doing some exercises down on the beyond the boundary, close to the Royal Lewis Junior Murray stand. The men from the capital attired in their red and black. St. Patrick's, I know the guys are already on the venue, so they're probably doing some exercises outside by the nets area. and the intensity is certainly is picking up in the tournament. We're into the semi-final stage, and two big teams, St. George's led by the coach Junior Murray, St. Andrew by the St. Patrick's by Ricky Williams, national coach of the national senior team, or he'd have coached a team a couple of years ago. Murray would have been the last national coach. So two experienced coaches, two well-led teams, Crony, and the appetite is certainly open for a top-class encounter between those two teams.
Yeah, we certainly expect to be a big one. St. Patrick's, in my view, boasts of bowlers probably with a lot of spin, and I think they will feel confident going into that match based on the bowling attack and the batting of Smith and Alternas. I think it's really big for them. So if you want to give anyone an edge going into that game, you probably want to give St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's, as we see Hodge disappointed, looking to tug that one, hit that one maybe down the ground, was able to get more of an inner portion of the bat and hit it down to fine long on. As a batsman, they cross over for 1, so 115 for 1 in over number 15. And at this stage, it's really pressureless cricket as Teddy Bishop hits that one down the ground, tossed up a bit by Gerard Noel, and Teddy Bishop hitting through the line. He hits his 4th 6 of the innings and also brings up the 50 partnership of 46 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6. Bishop 27, Teddy Bishop 28, and St. Andrew, they won 21 for 1 in over number 15.
Yeah, really a superb shot by Bishop, and he really had played some tremendous shot in his inning. And he didn't go for any big swipe, but he just played through the line and just hit it straight down to long on.
Yes, this time looking to turn it on the onside, straight to Keon George at mid wicket, and one more run to no run added to the total. Advances down the ground this time, Crony, and plays it well down to Regis on the long on boundary, and we might be longing for the nostalgia of seeing batsmen use their feet more regularly to the slower bowlers, and this time Bishop used his feet to probably offset Noel a bit, and was able to get 1 run as another extra, Crony. That time now brings the extra total to 7, and 9 extras, sorry, as 7 extras, yes. And 3 no balls in this form of cricket, Crony. 3 no balls in T20 cricket. You don't do yourself any favor as a team with those amount of no balls.
Yeah, we have known that St. David do have the problem in terms of extras being bowled. I think this inning have been probably the least in terms of extras. Certainly St. Andrews have made it very easy here today. I think both batsmen batting well. It's good to see that Bishop is settling in, not playing the dashing shots and then not as we have seen before, trying to hit everything. But he has really played a discipline inning. Played some beautiful shot, the square drive that he played, and that 6 that he hit down to long, and just timing, just position and timing. Certainly he's a player for the future.
Yes.
Real good inning.
Yeah, we just want to say shout out everyone who's listening, the listening and viewing the broadcast here from the National Stadium. It's live cricket from the capital of Grenada, St. George's, and we just want to say hello, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're taking in the broadcast from. It's certainly our pleasure to be entertaining you on this wonderful Saturday here in Grenada, the first of 2 semi-finals in the NLA GPL T20, and we hope that you'll be remain with us for the second of the semi-finals, St. George's versus St. Patrick. Both teams will be looking to book their spot into the final tomorrow. We'll be coming up against the winner of this encounter, and at the moment it looks to be St. Andrew with the advantage, who requires just 31 of the final 5 overs.
Yeah, and Fletcher in his 4th over, and none for 19 so far. Noel 4 overs and none for 32. So it have been hard going. Have been tough really going for the St. David's bowlers.
Yeah, certainly no answers to the efforts of the exploits of the St. Andrews batsmen. Teddy Bishop this time just beaten there outside the off stump by Fletcher, looking to hit that one over the long on area, able to beat the outside edge of Bishop.
Yeah, I think Fletcher just have been short. You just need to bring the ball up to the bat, allow the batsman to play on the front foot, but just a bit short.
As we see some gifts being delivered to my co-commentator, Mr. Raphael Crony, and I think he has other persons here in the production room a bit. Eyes are a bit open in some lovely sapodillas, and it's a fruit of choice for quite a number of Grenadians. And Crony, you're certainly a blessed man to have such a healthy looking package delivered to you here.
Certainly, surprises. But certainly, this is someone who has done quite a lot for cricket, not only in St. George's but in Grenada.
Yes.
And certainly, she's someone that also looks out for the players and maybe the officials also.
Yeah.
So certainly, she has seen it fit maybe, and she does a lot of gardening. So certainly from the farm, she would have felt that it was necessary to bring something for us today.
Yeah, the most wonderful Miss Diane John. She's the mother of one of the players in the tournament, Hakeem Alexis, who is from the St. George's squad. And as you said, as we witnessed the end of the over of the 16 overs, is 128 for one. But just going back to Mrs. John there, and I think Crony, it's a lady who loves her cricket and looks support cricket, and Grenadian cricket can certainly do with much more of the likes of Miss Diane John, because once she's around, things happen, and players and officials are quite happy when she's involved in the game.
Yes, certainly, and I know that she has been instrumental in St. George's team in terms of support, in terms of meals, even in terms of person staying. So she has been doing a great job. As you said, it's the kind of person that we love to have more on.
As we seem to, there's a little conference there between the players as they take the opportunity to get some refreshment, just a little liquid refreshments. It's not hot, but it can be a bit humid, and probably it's a opportune time for us to mention our sponsors who have been involved in making this cricket a reality. We want to thank the National Lotteries Authority, title sponsors of the NLA GPL T20. Also want to thank the Ministry of Sports for their contribution towards the tournament. The Windwards Cricket, Poly Natural Spring Water, who has been the official water suppliers of the tournament. So we want to thank all the entities involved, and how can we not say thanks to this hardworking team from TNR Communications for their excellent top quality production in bringing this cricket to your devices wherever you're across the world, because we know from your comments and from our stats, we can see that the stream is being beamed across the world, and we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to entertain you with top quality cricket from Grenada. We can expose our players and show you that the Spice Island certainly has a lot of talent, and thanks to all those entities and individuals who would have given up their time, who would have given up their commitment, their services, their resources to ensure that our youngsters can be showcased on the global stage.
Yes, no thanks is too much for TNR Communication, who in my view has done a tremendous job. Like every game they're looking to step it up a notch, and certainly they need all the commendation that is necessary so that our players are, as you said, exposed to the world.
Yes.
Ryan John going to pick up the attack. St. Andrews need 28 from 24 deliveries, just 4 more overs, and they need 28, which really should be easy with 1 wicket down.
Yeah, as well, you would take your memory back to a few weekends ago when St. David's would have played St. Patrick's. I think they were going after just maybe close to 100 runs, and they were going at a rate 70 for 1 wicket, with a lot of overs left, just 20 runs to go, and you would have remembered what would have happened. The game went to a super over where St. David's were able to cross the finish line through super over, and as they say, it's never over until it's over, because our cricket is prone for those sorts of unthinking moments where you can make an easy situation difficult. But so far, St. Andrew, they're in command, requiring now just 27 of 23 balls.
Yeah, it certainly has been a tremendous performance by St. Andrews. They really batted well, led by Bishop, who continues to play well, a touch player. Certainly, when you have the chances, you have to take chances. If you're going to win matches, you have to hold your catches. And certainly, I think the miss there was a big one. And certainly, we have seen Bishop turn it around and play a tremendous inning. And what I really relish, as I welcome Justin, the fact that there was no sort of power hitting, but everything with timing and being in position, it makes it very easy to play shots. And we saw that being very evident with the inning that Bishop has played.
Yeah, he's threatened to do that throughout the tournament so far. I think he's finally gotten something sort of decent under his belt. But short on a magnificent catch. Well, that's why Fletcher taking the catch. Hodge not being able to keep this one down. And could there be another twist in the saga, Cooney?
Well, a superb catch by Fletcher. It's only the second wicket, and not much were needed. There's 29, maybe 27, 26, 27 more runs needed. Certainly, I still think that is really easy going for St. Andrews. Again, that wicket probably come a bit too late, but to me, St. Andrews is well placed at 129 for 2, and should be able to pull home.
Yeah, well, Hodge did a fairly good job staying with Bishop and really pushing it. I think he would have liked to see it home, maybe like to have been there at the end, but that was not to be. Fletcher was pretty close in there at backward point, in fact, and the ball was short outside the off stump, and it flew to Fletcher, who took it rather easily in the end. And second wicket for St. David, but could that be the panic button?
I really doubt it. I mean, the wicket and the pitch is playing pretty well, pretty well. I think the difference in what St. Andrews did in terms of the bowling, as we related, that the ball was not coming off the wicket, and they used it to their advantage, in that there was quite a bit of variation, and they used quite a bit of spin. St. David's doesn't have the quality of spinners that St. Andrews do have. So I think that also would have really favored St. Andrews in terms of the attack, and made it very difficult. When we remember the timing of the shots, they found a lot of difficulty not timing properly, the ball bouncing. But we are not seeing that in the batting of St. Andrews. I think both batsmen before really were timing the ball sweetly.
I think the reason for that is that they were not looking to beat the cover of the ball, which St. David batsmen for the most part was trying to do, really trying to beat the cover of the ball. And has another nice shot down towards backward point, a long run. They gone for 2. Probably if they had pushed it, they should have gone back for a third, Grooney, there.
Yeah, I guess there's no hurry. There's quite enough time. But you're making a good point there in terms of the difference between the batting. I think St. Davis was looking for power, not really looking to strike the ball and push it around, but looking for, I guess, the boundaries. And in doing so, as I said, looking for power. But what we have seen from Bishop in particular, in terms of timing, getting himself into the right position to play the shots. And if you do so, you would realize that all you need is timing and not necessarily power.
So 131 for 2. Levy again pushed up on the offside, so it's been a pretty good over for St. David so far by John. Just keeping things tight and just kind of balance, balancing the rate. So almost the same rate needed as they're going now. So they've done some work in terms of pulling the rate back.
Well, he's in his third over, none for 17, and you expect that from a Ryan John experience who have played at every level, and he's looking to keep the ball right up to the bat. Just backward point in Fletcher, just been a slight adjustment.
Yes, again slash down towards backward point, and he'll have to again get around to his left to do the fielding. And that's the captain down there. So 2 more runs.
Yeah, slower delivery just offline there by John, and the batsman having the room to hit it down to backward point, Ogis, and picking up 2 easy runs.
So 133 for 2. Ogis is on 4, 77 to Bishop, and certainly we're winding down here with 3 overs to go. I think what is needed now, what, just 20, 21, 22, 23, right? 23 needed in 18 deliveries.
Well, there's 3 overs to go. John has 1 more. I don't know, it would be a chance. Jackson. There's Jackson. Well, you know, Pascal is off.
And Joseph. Well,
and the Joseph.
It looked like Joseph. So that would be a very crucial over in terms of what pressure maybe John would be able to exert on the other end, and to give that bowler who is bowling the last over enough runs to defend. I think that's what it will come down to.
Yeah, this is a vital over coming up here. This is the 18th over, as you see. Both Fletcher and Keon George having discussion. No, George is having final discussion with Joseph, who didn't bowl as well as we know he can bowl today, but maybe he wasn't allowed to do so. Bowling sign in from Bishop.
It would be interesting to see the lengths he tried to execute in this over. Probably with the field as it is, it looked to me like he will employ a few short deliveries. There is a long on, the deep mid wicket, the deep backward off square, and the long off, and of course the fielder deep on the deep extra cover boundary.
But they are in a good position, and they need to there's no need to take any undue risk. Bishop is a good driver and also plays the pull shot very well.
Yeah.
So his lengths had to be right. He's also good on the cut shot. He's a player that plays all around the wicket. His lengths just have to be right, and maybe try to attack one side of the wicket.
So he goes on the legs of the batsman Bishop, and he flicked it nonchalantly over backward square. The fielder has just been removed from the backward of square boundary and brought into the circle, and the third man went off, and there was Joseph straying onto the pad, and Bishop wouldn't wouldn't mess that up at all. He just simply flicked it off the pad, just with the wrist really, and the ball went away towards backward square for 4.
Yeah, very good shot. Delivery going down the leg side, and he really clipped it nicely over backward square and down to the boundary for 4. Now we see that backward square is pulled in just to the right of the umpire. Now he's being sent right back,
and the third man will have to come back in, and the third man, which was sent out when the backward square come in, now will have to come back in while the backward square gone back out. So that's the ideal start. 4 runs in the first delivery. The pressure is on the bowler now.
No!
Yes, so once you struck for a boundary, and another good quick single taken by the batsman. So already 2 deliveries and 5 runs had.
Yeah.
So your pressure is on the bowler now to finish strongly.
It certainly has been a really tremendous performance by the St Andrews team. I think both bat and ball. We have seen the start to the previous game that they played last weekend, and today they really has done very well.
So 138 for 2. And a strong reply. Although, Crony, there is still some 2 overs. It's a long way to go still in the game in terms of it's still,
Yes, we know the game. This cricket game is a game of glorious uncertainty, but as it stands now, it's still 8 wickets.
18 to go. Delivery outside the off stump, and a dot delivery, which is really precious now. Dot deliveries are precious deliveries. A delivery probably that We probably should have looked to play down the ground, looking to play behind square, and
I think the best that can happen now is that this over is a tight over, and the next over coming up is a tight over. So you want to know that maybe last over you're looking for 12.
Yes,
as the case may be, to make make a match out of it. But at the moment, with so many wickets in hand, I think.
So who will keep the heads or who will lose the heads? That's always the question in this short, especially the shorter forms of the game. Another single, which certainly add to the pressure onto the fielding team. 139 for 2, 82 to Bishop.
It can be done in singles. You just push it around and you get an odd 2, and you should be right there.
Yes, 7 and over. Which is where you want to be in our semi-finals. Giving himself some room and just losing the shape there, but they will come back for the second. They will have to hurry, and they hurries. So 2 more to the batsmen. It's 2 young men, so they can really hustle between the wicket. They went quickly for the first. In fact, the ball wasn't timed, so that gave them sufficient time to turn and come back for the second.
Yeah, good running. Keep the pressure on. And John coming in from that long on position, they really had to scamper to get to the ball. So 2 more to Bishop. He's on 84.
Yes, he's on 84, and he's in strike 2. Joseph, final ball of the over, and this is a crucial delivery, Crony. And again, the delivery just pushed up on the offside, easily thrown towards Andrew Fletcher for another single. So a good over for St Andrew. Yes, and still 7 runs and over, just 14 to go, 2 overs to go, and certainly shouldn't be too hard a job. I think if St David will have to find a way to pick some wickets up. I think that's what will stall St Andrew to a certain extent. They will have to pick up wickets.
Yes, and St David's, who boasts of a good bowling attack, and they look at the bowlers, they have been doing very well. I think the bowling attack have been carrying St David's for probably the last few years, and one expected like 130 runs would have been a challenge to any other teams against St David's. But I think today I think we are seeing St Andrews playing the sort of game that we haven't seen them play before, and just took St David's out of it. I like the approach when they begin to bat, chasing that 155. From the first delivery, they look very positive, and they really carry that through. I think what would have stalled it probably if the catch was taken third man.
Yeah. Yes.
And Bishop would have out very early. Maybe that would have had to change gear, but they continued. They took the chances and really put themselves in an advantageous position where St. David's were always trying to keep up.
So anything, if they should get anyway 6-7 runs in this over, it needs to be game over.
Well, 14 and 2, John in his final over, and he would want to cut it down to less than 4 in the over. So probably the opportunity of having to score maybe 10 in the last over. But with Teddy Bishop there, he's playing so well that it's very difficult to see unless he gets out. It really should be easy sailing for St Andrews.
So it would be probably Joseph or Jackson to bowl the final over. And that's well played. 2 is the call. And what does the umpire say? Yes, he's out. He's run out. So, well, another twist in the saga. Look, he never looked like one probably turning for 2. He was called for 2. He went for it, and in the end, he lost his wicket. So he goes for 85, run out, and it's never really nice to see a batsman go that way, but he wouldn't be there to see the end of it.
Yeah, certainly tremendous inning. As you can see that the players do really congratulate him on the inning that he has played.
Of course, he was very much an integral part of the St. David unit. So it's good to see the camaraderie and still the fun that they're having out there. But I think Bishop would know that the job isn't quite done yet. and must be disappointed that he didn't see to the end.
Yeah, really has played a tremendous inning. A player with immense talent, you know, and you can see him going forward. Yeah, he made batting look very easy out there today, you know. I mean, he was in position. I love the drives that he have been playing. Always seem to be in position to play the drives, and even with the short ball, in position, to play the pull shot or whether it's a hook shot. But he certainly have played, a tremendous inning. Probably one of the best innings I probably have seen him play.
143 for 3, so still 13 to win. In 11 deliveries now. Yeah, 11 deliveries, 13 runs. So you think that the task shouldn't be too difficult?
Yeah, it certainly would call on a lot of experience in terms of your field placement. That fielder at short third man with John bowling, you have to really keep on a line. And certainly, I probably would want to attack one side of the wicket and make sure I have the field properly set there.
Especially against McDonald.
Yeah. But let's see, the field is a short third man, a backward point in Fletcher, a cover. We have a long off on the offside, so there's no one deep on the offside. We have a sweeper on the cover boundary, so no one behind point on the boundary. And seeing still some adjustment. Now we've seen Fletcher going back, going deeper in that backward point position, and the square leg comes in, the mid wicket goes back, and long on the boundary. So we have a long on the boundary, long off, sweeper cover on the boundary, and a backward point actually on the boundary.
So with that field, we don't expect to see too many balls being pitched up around the off stump, because the extra cover is in. It's easy to go over extra cover.
Yeah, it's also easy to clear that short third man there. So let's see.
John. Short. And where does that go? It goes for 6. Well, that's what McDonald can do. We are just talking about that. It was a bad delivery by Ryan John. It was short. It stood up. It asked to be hit. Really asking, hit me please. And hit me please. That was what was done by McDonald. And to ease the pressure on themselves and to really put all the pressure now back on St. David.
Yeah, bad delivery. They're looking for the slower delivery. Ball is really short, and he had all the time in the ball and hit it over long off. So he certainly had to wait and hit it really over long off, and that went for 6. That certainly would have taken off a lot of pressure off St. Andrews, who have just lost the wicket of Bishop, and John certainly would have been looking to keep it tight, or if probably take up another wicket in the over.
Well, so 7 from 10. McDonald, 1 delivery, faced 6 runs, 149 for 3. And certainly it's getting there. It's getting to the point where probably David can't afford to give up any more runs in this over, or another boundary will just close the deal.
Yeah, certainly that delivery I think would have really eased all the pressure off St. Andrews and St. Davis. Certainly, I think it was the worst thing they would have want happen with that delivery from John.
It's not a time for experiment. Those stages in the game. Series John to McDonald. I bowl him. Middle stump. Full pitch delivery. Yorker delivery. And McDonald coming down and they have a big drive at it. That was not necessary, Crony.
Definitely not. But interestingly enough is that he bring the ball up to the bat. And I think, as you rightly said, it wasn't a time to experiment when he tried a slower delivery. It was a time of keeping things tight, keeping things up to the bat, keeping things very tight, causing it difficult to score. This is what you need it, because it's not about trying to get wickets, but it's about trying to bowl ball defensively with a batsman can't score. So I think he experimented the wrong time and paid the penalty. Just come back and pick up another wicket.
That was of Donald McDonald. And the other McDonald is out. That is Daniel McDonald. Certainly, the sound of leather and wood sound in our ears as John get it right, and probably we'll see more of that in the final 4 deliveries. He really has to bowl that hard length, and don't allow the batsman to get under the delivery at all. I think the 6 would have really handicapped him. The first ball in the over, going for 6.
Yeah, most definitely, and this is what he needed to do: bring it right up. These batsmen coming up there, make it difficult for them to score. If they're going to score and they get off to a single, or so it's not too bad. But don't give them an option.
And of course, you never know what pressure they might be under. When sometimes it's funny that even when there is no pressure, sometimes batsmen or fielders or players in general feels pressure, some kind of pressure. But just the pressure, knowing that you're close to the line, Crony, is one that can really play on your mind or sway on your mind.
Yeah, a very interesting field. Short fine leg, and if Fletcher coming up to seem to be a normal backward square. Mid wicket on the boundary, long on the boundary, long off, cover on the boundary, and yes, backward point also on the boundary.
And this is what sometimes create pressure. These subtle little changes in field, sometimes not so much a big difference, but it does plant something in the mind of the batsman. As here is John on his way to bowl to Daniel McDonald gets a full toss, which opens the face of the bat. Will get a single down towards backward point, who comes off the boundary rather quickly. And that was Noel came off the boundary, and a single. So it's one shot, one strike away, 6 to get.
Yeah, that 6 certainly would have hurt them. I think this is way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And August is on strike. Let's see, John on his way to bowl to August to this delivery. Gets one down the leg side, and it will be a wide. And even worse, you cannot afford extras more at this time. But an extra has been had, so 5. You will have to bowl 2 more deliveries still. So even if 2 singles came off the next 2 deliveries, it will still be a very good position for St. Andrew. That 6 was monumental, as you see.
Yeah, we see a tightening at the offside field, so let's see.
Yeah, delivery. There we go. Just coming off the inner portion of the body, going for 1. They should come back for the second. They would. It will take a much better throw than that. A direct hit, yes, but it had to be quicker. It had to be, but really there was nothing in the throw, and the batsmen were able to cross for 2 to take it down now. 3 to win.
Yeah, and sensible batting there by Ogisi. Just came forward and pushed it in mid-wicket, and Devin Baker and the fielder on the boundary. They was able to pick up 2. What's the thinking now? 1 more delivery in the over.
Bring the mid-wicket in. You don't have a
certainly,
choice.
Certainly. You want to bring the fielders in.
Within the circle.
Yeah, you want to make it very tight.
Yes. But Gain wrapped on the pad and out leg before. Well, another strike there by John. And Ogis was probably playing across the line. It's very interesting to look at this one with the right-hander bowling over the wicket. It had to hit him probably full. He's bowling very wide. Let's see. Crony might have missed off stump. I can't see that hitting the off stump really. From that angle, John bowling very wide of the crease and slanting the ball, and the ball hitting the toe almost.
I think it
look
hit
at it again.
It hit him full. Let's see.
Yeah, but look at it again. The feet is outside the off stump, just the tip of the toe.
Yeah, just on about off stump.
We couldn't see. I don't know.
Just about.
I couldn't see this one hitting the off stump. Looking at the angle, I couldn't see it hitting the off stump. But the umpire sent him, and he had to go. So another wicket has fallen. That's why at the end of 18, 1 over to go, 3 runs to get. And
2 new batsmen. In.
So who would bowl the final? Is it Black? Is it Joseph, or is it who else do they have? Jaron Noel has completed.
Yeah, I think the best person to bowl that last over probably would be Joseph. But let's see. Yeah, it is Joseph.
So
and as I said, what they would need to do now is you have to certainly pick a side. You had to pick a side. Try and get the ball right up. You have your third man right back. You have your long leg right back, because you're going to try to bring the ball right up, and your mid off and on your mid on, not back on the boundary, because obviously you want to cut off all singles. If you take the edge and it goes down, you have somebody that would be able to stop it before it goes to the boundary. So the field setting now will be really crucial in terms of what happens. Now there's a mid wicket on the boundary. I'm not so sure a mid wicket, anything goes down there, that's 2 runs, right? You have a long one on. No, they are bringing them in. This is a good ploy. This is a really good ploy, but the long leg and the third man are not seen down on the boundary. One little edge and they're going to pass there. So I think we see what happens.
Oh, and it goes through for 4, and that's victory for St. Andrew. Well, you had to, you can't defend everything, but you had to ensure that they do not get the singles, and of course that always run the risk of going to the boundary for 4. And it was finished. Short delivery outside the off stump. Maybe the length wasn't quite right, giving the left-hander too much room to steer it away, and he steered it just past the hands of backward point, and it went away to the boundary. Hard luck to St. David. They have had a pretty reasonable season as the second loss in the tournament.
Yeah, well, and they have lost the second time to St. Andrews. Well, I think the season, when you look at it, it had been a torrid season for the St. Davis team. They have never played up to what their ability. I think the batting has let them down badly. This inning, they would have done the best in scoring 155, but it turned around that the bowling has let them down. And you have to take your catches. I think that catch was a crucial catch. With Bishop, I think he was just on 1, and I think after that things just went haywire. But again, you need to give St. Andrews credit. I think they played well. They won the toss. I think they made the right decision, and that was to field first. They bowled well. St. Davis got off 28. They were going pretty okay, and then lost a couple of wickets. But again, the batsmen found it difficult to play shots, difficult to get a time in, and it all goes to the way that the St. Andrews team have bowled. Used the spinners to the fullest advantage, kept things very quiet, and certainly I think they deserve to win. They played a better cricket today.
Yes, they do. Of course, we're getting ready for the presentation. So what we can tell you is that St. David, they have been beaten in the semi-final, so that means St. Andrew has booked the place to the final, and certainly it has behind a beautiful innings of 85 by Teddy Bishop, and of course Hodge.
Tremendous inning by Bishop. I think Bishop's inning really made a difference. The opening stand of 66 I thought was a good one, and then Hodge came in using his experience, stick around, and put on over 50, and certainly would have done well. As we now go down to the grounds, Kerry have Bishop with him, and certainly you will hear from the captain. Down to you, Kerry.
With a clinical 5-wicket victory over St. David. First of all, we're going to have the presentation for today's man of the match, and that is, to no surprise, Teddy Bishop for his knock of 85 to lead his team to victory. The award will be presented by the first Vice President of the GCA, Andy Noel. Alright, we're just going to have a few words to Teddy. Teddy, as you know, I've been saying throughout the tournament, you know when to score the runs, and 85 is certainly welcome for St. Andrew to book their spot in the final.
Yeah, definitely. For the past few games, I've been struggling with the score, and I'm happy to get big score here and most importantly, get the team into the finals.
All right, the high score for the tournament so far today felt good coming in today, coming up against St. David's, who we'd have played the 4 in the past.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I know them pretty well, so I'm happy with my score today. So yeah.
You guys now into the finals, looking forward to going one step further and lifting the championship trophy tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, hopefully we can do that and make the St. Andrews posse happy.
All right, we'll tell you once again, congratulations to you and all the best of the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
We're going to have some words now with Keon George, the captain for St. David's. Keon George, your team so far have played 6 matches in the tournament, 1-4 loss, 2 defeats against St Andrew. How do you sum up your team's performance today?
Yeah, well, I thought we came out and we batted properly, but somewhere along the line in the bowling, we did put out a bad effort and they come out victorious over us today.
Teddy Bishop, who you guys quite familiar with, today leading the way for St Andrews with 85. It seemed to have provided some difficulties for St David's today with the bat.
Yeah, of course, Teddy came out and played positive. We had a chance with him early, but we put it down, and from since then he's been positive, and you know Teddy's a good player and he carried them to victory.
All right, St David's, now tomorrow you guys will be playing for the 3rd place playoff, certainly looking for finish on the tournament on a high.
Of course, tomorrow we have to come and at least get a win and come out 3rd place.
All right, well, Keon, once again, thanks very much to you and thanks for entertaining us through the tournament.
Thank you very much.
We're now going to have words with Anil Matthew. Anil, you've said at the toss, you've beaten them in the round robin tournament. Now you've knocked them out. You've beaten them in the semi-final. Must be pleased with your team's performance today.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the performance of the guys. We did well with the ball up front. At the end, St. Davis got 150 and see it wasn't enough for us.
All right, the batting effort seemed to be a confident at end. Yourself and Teddy Bishop got off to a good start and laid the foundation for what was a successful chase.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start, chasing 154. We get off to a flyer in the power play, get off to 64 without loss, and that laid the foundation for the guys coming in after.
Well, you have the luxury now of sitting back and watching the second semi-finals as you booked your spot into the finals. Guys must be feeling good and raring to go for tomorrow's final.
Yeah, we're feeling good, but we just have to remain focused. We don't know who we're going to face yet. Anybody come, we're going to remain focused and play basic cricket and try to lift the trophy.
All right, well, Anil, we want to say congratulations on your team's victory today and all the best for tomorrow's final.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so that's it from the presentation ceremony. Victory to St Andrew by 5 wickets in the semi-final against St David.
And very, very good discussion there as the captain of St David's is saying that all they need to do is play basic cricket, and this is what they did today. Coming off a tremendous victory over St David's to book their place for the finals tomorrow. Once again, we would take a quick break. We'll join you for the second match, maybe next 10-15 minutes. Join us then. Certainly, we expect another keen contest in the game coming up, and certainly we hope that you would join us. There are some another top players that we expect to see, and we looking forward to you joining us in the next few minutes.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number 1.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
And growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Get Vax. It's your best shot. Hello.
A message from the Ministry of Health.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.